We're live from Rainier Beach High School. Located in South Seattle, this program here has developed a plethora of NBA talent and basketball stars. Today, we get to interview Mr. Crossover himself, Jamal Crawford. He's a three-time Sixth Man of the Year award winner, one of the most shifty, dynamic, prolific scorers that I've ever played against and played with.
Crawford for the win.
There was no slowing down. You were that guy that would come off the bench and just torch.
I figured out my advantage. Oh, okay, I just can't have you touch me. So now my feet gotta be sharper. I'm just watching who's gonna take the baton and keep like bringing this next generation.
You just had 20 off as a starter for the Warriors. Now they're telling you, hey, we need you to come off the bench.
The one thing in life that's constant is change. Oh, he's only a point. Oh, he's only a two. It wasn't fluid. It wasn't positionless basketball. So I was being known as a good player on bad teams. I'm like, no, I'm a winner.
Let's go inside. This is gonna be fun. I'm Austin Rivers. This is Eye for the Game, and today we have a special guest, Hall of Fame. Yeah, you know it. It's coming.
Hood Hall of Fame.
No, it's coming. Jamal Crawford, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, appreciate you coming on, man. This is an honor to have you on. Not only did I get to be a teammate of yours, learn from you, I always attribute my success, a lot of my success, especially coming on early on in my career from being your teammate.
Well, hold on. First off,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys something I never told nobody. In the locker room every day, we would have something called the opinion. And it was based
and it
was based off of this guy. So to see how he's killing it in this space, to see how he's giving the game the opinion. Who knew you would be the star that you are now? Trust me. I've been in a few years. I know a star when I see one.
I appreciate you, bro. This is gonna be dope, man. We got the infamous Jamal Crawford, man. And we here live from Jamal Crawford Court.
Yes.
At Rainier Beach High.
First interview ever here. So this is like old high school. We were going through some of the names. Doug Christie, myself, Nate Robinson, Terrence Williams.
Yeah, bro, this is crazy.
Marjan Beauchamp.
This is just a public school.
It's public school, yeah.
You don't recruit or anything.
No. Kevin Porter Jr., DeJounte Murray. I don't want to forget nobody, but we got a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, you just named like 8 or 9 pros.
Yeah, and the great coach Mike Bethea coached everybody. Still here.
Wow.
I'm an assistant coach with him now, so we're here in this new space.
And you helped obviously redesign this new gym and stuff.
A little bit, but it was crazy because you could see it on the deck 5 years before. Oh, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be autographed. I'm like, yeah, all right. It looks good on the deck.
Yeah.
It looks better than in the deck.
Now it came to fruition.
It's here.
This is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. The school is so nice.
And you didn't miss in here. I don't know if y'all saw him shooting earlier, but he didn't miss anything.
Oh, no, I still got it.
It's got, yeah.
I still got it.
Yeah.
I'm 32 now. Matter of fact,
Young
I got to
OG.
pull up to the
crossover
to the ProAm, which we'll get to in a second.
Yes.
The school is so nice and this gym is so nice. Kudos to you and to whoever obviously boosted that. I didn't even know we was in the, we in the.
Yeah, we here.
We in the hood a little bit.
We in the south end.
No, I didn't realize that to the ball players talking trash.
Yeah,
like, hey man, let me give you 30. I was like, hold on.
Yeah, you look. I saw your face. You was like, hold up, what's
I was like, where we at?
Nah, yeah,
because this looks prep school, bro. The way this is built out.
It's new. Don't let it fool you.
Okay.
Nah,
right.
we here.
Let's start early, man. Let's go, young Jamal.
Okay.
Let's dive right into it.
I can't wait to
see who is this killer?
What's crazy about the picture on the left, right? First off, you see I'm giving you never told stories.
Okay, I love it.
So we played at University of Washington this game. That was against Mercer Island. At the time, they were like top 25 in the country. Really, really, really good. And as you see, I got it wasn't Ant doing the wristband on the leg first. I was doing it long before. You were
the first I've seen with the awkward band placement on the leg.
And I got it from Baron Davis. I got to be real. I saw him do it at UCLA.
You got it from B. Diddy?
BD, yeah.
Okay.
But the Kobe's, the Crazy Eights. And I actually sent that picture to Kobe. And I was like, look, I was repping you in high school. He's like, oh. So that was a story I never told before.
But those things were bricks, too.
They were. So you had to really have
Crazy Eight, you had to have some wiggle.
The Kobe's and then the low ankle brace, that's my Iverson. That's when he was in Georgetown. So I had my Iverson going right there, the B. Diddy.
Okay, so you take it from all the
greats.
all the guards, yeah.
And funny story about the 23, my coach Mike Bethea, I wanted to wear number 5. And coach like, no, you're wearing 23. I'm like, nah, coach, I'm wearing number 5. He's like, no, you're wearing 23. And thank God he made me wear that. So
and is that obviously homage to
MJ? Oh,
to
for
MJ.
sure, absolutely.
And why'd you want to wear number 5?
Baron, it seemed like a cool number.
Oh, so you really Baron
man,
Davis
he's one
was
of the best players I ever seen in my life in person. I saw him in high school when I was like my freshman, sophomore year. Yeah, but no,
in college.
No, and I was in LA.
Oh wow.
So I used to live in LA before I came back to Seattle. But Coach Mike was like, no, you're wearing 23, and thank God he made me wear that. And that right there on the right, that was at the King Dome where the Mariners used to play. So like Ken Griffey, Eric Mack, they were coming to watch me in high school. Like everybody was watching you.
Yeah.
They were watching me. It wasn't like social media though, right?
No,
like so you had to wait for the newspaper.
Which is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Regards,
It kept a mystery, so you had to come out and see it.
Oh wait, you had Griffey?
Griffey was he was there. We broke a record I showed Paulo. Paulo was talking about, we were talking about the most fans ever came to a game, and I showed him my crowd, and I showed him the record. To this day, I think it's almost 60,000.
60,000 at a high school game.
Span, yeah. Well, for the tournament, yeah. But so it was the average of 20. Yeah, but Griffey was there.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
And then, we got young Jamal here,
Yep.
man. Bro,
Oh,
listen.
my goodness.
Where did you see this type of stuff right here, though, Jamal? Like, this is what I'm saying, though, man. Like, it's one thing to practice it.
Yeah.
It's another thing to, be messing around in the gym after workouts, doing stuff. 'Cause that's not even like a natural basketball move. To swing it across, like, no one thinks to do stuff like this. You doing this in a game.
In a game, bro. It's crazy because I spent so much time by myself. And that's where imagination will come from. I remember, and I've never told this, I remember when I wanted so many moves when I was like 10 years old. I'd be like, all right, number 1 is Tim Hardaway crossover. Number 2 is through the legs behind the back. And I say, all right, number 8, and I knew exactly what move to go to. And that's when I was young, just trying to, it's like a rapper, right? At first he has right on paper, he has to.
Oh, so you were calculating.
For sure.
So wait,
looking back,
I've never really heard of that.
Yeah.
Most players sometimes, like Kyrie's like an instinct.
For sure.
Does something and just kind of goes off of whatever. You would look at players and be like this.
Young. Yeah.
Wow.
Because you got to think of that era, right? Zeke, Tim Hardaway, Nick Van Exel came a little bit earlier, or after that, Rod Strickland.
I was about to say, I knew Rod had to be in your mix.
For sure. Rod Mahmoud, like all those guys. So I would study them and I would get their moves. And I'd be like, all right, Tim Hardaway's number 1, Penny's number 2. And I would know, that's the Penny move because I practiced it so many times. And back then the word was hot dog. Don't be a hot dog, don't be flashy. And my dad was like, he played at Oregon, played with Kevin Love's dad actually. And he was like, look, you're really fancy. He was like, so you better be really good at this because any coach is going to pull you out.
They're going to pull you out if you're messing up and stuff.
And I'm like, all right, I got it. And I just owned it. And then and one came in the mix, right? And I'm walking around with the tape from Foot Locker with Skip to Malou and just Ali Mo and all these dudes. I had some battles with Ali Mo I've never talked about too, rest in peace. But like all these things were in my imagination. Then I just go out there by myself and just see what I could come up with.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, you played in peak and one.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Like there was a time period where like and one had a hold on these kids. When the mixtapes came out, especially mixtape volume 1, 2, these guys were like actual stars.
The fact that you know it was volume 1, you were absolutely watching.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to go to Daryl Armstrong.
Yeah.
Play for my pops and was one of the few and one players in the NBA.
He was.
So he had Daryl Armstrong camp going up. You could only get these tapes if you won MVP of the camp. He'd hand you. So I got the tapes, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm in tune. The volume 1, volume Skip
back when
was
there was
like
a VCR, when you had to actually pop in the
it
VCR.
in. Skip was like him and Hot Sauce were Bone Collector. All these guys, they were legends, man.
For sure. So that's where some of that imagination. At this point, I'm 16, 17, and I'm just like making up stuff on the fly.
Bro, look at the little. You know what's crazy? Going through your clips, you were a hell of a passer, though.
Bro, this is a secret. I'm a better passer than scorer.
You.
Oh, that was the short version.
Hold on.
Look, that was the short version.
We got breathe.
All right, I'm gonna give you something else.
Look at this.
Freeze. I'm gonna give you something else.
What is going through your mind right now as you are dribbling? You're dribbling backwards.
And look where they're at. They tell you you're scared. That was a
they're
dog
not
off a
even-
leash.
they're not even picking
That was
you
a dog
up.
off a leash. They didn't want to get bit. But let me tell you a story, and nobody's ever heard this, and I have video to prove it. Same thing happens. We're playing at Cleveland. I dribble up. Pause right there, if you can. I get all the way. I dribble up all the way.
Hunt this in the league?
No, this is in high school at this time. All the way to right here. I finally turn around, because I'm coming up backwards. I finally turn around and face the defense. I touch the ground, throw it on my neck. I shoot it, and I take off running in. And it goes, They lose it. It's on tape. I'm gonna put it out one day. The Lost Crosses.
Oh man, I gotta.
I'll put it out one day. One day.
You have that on film?
Yeah, it's on film. It's on film.
I'm mad.
It's
You
on
can't
film.
tell me something
I'm
like
sorry.
this.
I just told the world on. Come on, man. Eye of the game. It's the only place that got this.
Look at you.
No, I was a better passer than scorer.
Man, see what I'm saying? Like the way you was
Seriously.
dishing them out, I didn't know you could pass like that,
No.
man. Because when I played you, not that you couldn't play me, because you did.
No, but I was a bucket.
But you was a bucket, man.
Right.
You got paid to come in the game and score.
Yeah, no, I was a better. And people around here know. Like I pass better than I score. And that's why in ProAms I have 19 assists.
Yeah, yeah.
I can be free to do it. But no, I was absolutely a better passer than scorer.
Who, like growing up as a Seattle,
Don't follow James Roscoe. I said his name.
He said his name. It's crazy. Shout out to James.
Say his
man.
name, like
Yeah.
Pac said. Say his name.
Shout out to James. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. You almost got him a couple times this game, by the way.
Yeah.
I was watching the highlights. I'm like, yo, like even right here.
That was a half spin.
You know what's crazy is the way your pace is, it looked like you were just messing around half the time. Like,
Well, at this age, I'm playing against pros all the time. So when I got to high school,
Yeah,
I averaged more in Pro-Am. My Pro-Am that's now was Doug Christie's. So I'm playing with him, Damon Stoudemire, all these guys. I'm averaging 30. So at this point, I'm like, man, I'm playing high school. I just got to entertain and win. And win was number one. And then put on the show I was doing. And that's why so many people came out. Bro, like Gary Payton was coming to games waiting to like meet me after the game. He was coming to our old gym. And was sitting there waiting. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
And this is the glove. This is 97.
So would you put Seattle as an underrated
for sure.
basketball city? Because people don't really, I guess
sure.
now they do,
Yeah.
but I would say historically it's not a city that's talked about when you talk about a city that produces mad NBA players or a lot of
Right.
basketball talent. You go to Florida, New York,
Yeah.
California,
Texas,
the Greaters,
you know,
Texas,
yeah.
the big cities, big states, but Washington, man, Seattle specifically, though,
Yeah.
y'all gotta. There's a lot of talent from out of here.
And the craziest part is, like Isaiah's from Tacoma, Avery Bradley's from Tacoma, and they do unbelievable things. As Ant knows, it's 45 minutes away. But the four major schools in the city, Beach, all the names we named, Franklin, Jason Terry, Aaron Brooks. Sorry, we're in school, y'all. This is real. This is very authentic.
Yeah, no.
Those guys, and then Garfield, B. Roy, Tony Roten, Will Conroy, Jalen Noel, like all these guys are there, right? So the four major schools are all within like a 15-minute like pace. It's all right here. So here we got all those names we said: Franklin, Jason Terry, Aaron Brooks, Peyton Siva. Like they have like legends that went there. Then you got Garfield, B. Roy, Jalen Noel, Tone Roten, Will Conroy, Tari Eason.
Damn.
Then O'Day is Paolo Banchero and Doug Wren, who should have been in the NBA. But there's so many guys, and this is in 15 minutes. And all these players are coming in this little area.
I don't know anybody or any city in Orlando, like Florida, that has anything. We have so many pros, but it's scattered.
Yeah, it's
like
scattered.
You
No.
guys having this in one
Right here.
city is crazy.
Which means in the summers, we're all in the same community centers playing. You know what I'm
So
saying?
it
Like
was real competitive growing up.
Yes, it's right here. Like so, and we'll all be mixed up or whatever. But it's like you're steel sharpens steel. And not only am I in the gym or Aaron Brooks in the gym or Nate or whoever. Here comes Zach LaVine watching. Can I get in the run?
Yeah.
Here comes Paolo Banchero watching. Like Paolo, bro, I had Paolo in runs with Kyrie, Zach, DeJounte. He's 15.
15 years old.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm giving Kai the rundown on who's who. He's like, so what college is he at? I'm like, him? He's in high school. He's like, what? He's like, he's in high school. He's about to be a sophomore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to see all this talent
Is
right
there footage
here.
of that? Those runs?
Nah, you know what? It was when Kai was coming back from Boston and he just wanted to kind of be off the grid. I was just sending runs for him. We don't
I'm trying to think of early on Paulo tape when he had the fro. And
Oh yeah, there's footage of him early for sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Mr. Bill Russell, rest in peace, was there at the run. I had him watching the run. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, bro. And then we'd all sit around like a campfire. I think I have a picture. I'll try to find it. If it's Spencer Hawes, we're all sitting around Kai
Spencer Hawes, yeah.
while he's
Yep.
sitting there talking. Martell Webster. Like we have
Martell Webster.
Spencer and Martell at Seattle Prep, which is another 15
Yep.
minutes away. Yeah.
Oh, so wow. I mean,
Bro, it's crazy.
We've got 30
It's crazy.
pros.
Easy. And it's one little area.
So I would imagine winning a state title that's like a must. If you were the top players, you got to at least take
You
your
got to
team all
have
the way.
that, right? That's the only championship I ever won. So
Smooth killing.
smooth killer. That's when I had the designs. I had the designs. I was doing my design thing, but like it was just the funnest time I ever had playing basketball was high school. And it was because it was still pure. There was nothing
I was about to say,
about it.
What do you cherish in terms of, I always like to speak on this because so much is made about what you do as a pro and only.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a basketball career should be considered your career.
Yeah.
You know, starting mainly in high school. Anything before that is too much. But high school, college, NBA, it's a resume. What do you cherish just from those times, man? I mean, it's hard to think back. Obviously, you've done so much. You played for 20 years in the NBA,
that's crazy.
bro. You know what I mean? You're
That's
one of the list of guys that have played 20 years.
That's crazy.
It's like you, Vince,
LeBron,
who else is it? I got the list right here. Matter of fact, this
Kevin
list is
Willis.
crazy. Huh?
Kevin Willis, LeBron, Vince, myself, UD, I think CP.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a short list.
Good God.
There's only 5,000 that's ever played in the NBA, right? And then they have, 7, 8, 9,
man,
10, 11, whatever it is, play 20 years. or plus.
KG, Dirk,
Yeah, KG,
Robert
Dirk,
Parrish,
yeah.
Kevin Willis, Kareem, Kobe,
Kareem,
and
Kobe.
VC and you.
That's unbelievable.
That's a
That's a
crazy
blessing,
list,
bro.
Jamal.
Bro, I used to, at this age, right, I used to dream about the NBA. And I was the kid, I was like, I'll pay the NBA to let me play in the NBA. Bro, it was never about the money. It wasn't about changing my mom, and I love my mom to death, but so for me, like, it was never about changing our family circumstance. We stayed in a little apartment, we weren't well off at all, but it was like my dream. I used to go sneak in Sonic games or sneak in Laker games in LA, and I would see Michael Adams warming up at 4 p.m. and they were playing Be Happy over the loudspeakers. I'm like, oh, that's what the pros listen to. I got to go home and listen to that song. Like, I'm not knowing, but I'm a kid and I want it so bad and I'm dreaming about it. And it was everything. So for me to play that long, I think there's two things in that. I think love of the game, obviously, you got to be blessed, but then you can't play along if you're not a solid person.
Yeah,
I don't believe.
yeah,
Like, you can't, because I don't know, but it was a blessing to play a day in the NBA. So to play 20 years is crazy.
And you still remember moments from back
These
back
are
then?
the most fun moments.
Yeah,
I have a playlist. I'm gonna show you right now, just so you know I'm not capped right here, as these youngsters say.
You said something interesting. You said this is when you play basketball with purity.
It was so pure. Let me just show you this real quick, and you guys can see this.
The game's changed though, man.
This mix right here is called High School. So to this day, right now, when I want to really zone out, I go in the gym, put on my High School mix, and go back to that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just go shoot some shots
Play
late night.
one on none. Yeah.
Just play a little, put some headphones on.
Or put over the speakers, and that's it. I want to feel like that because I dreamed about this, and it honestly still feels like I'm living a dream. Like it's fake in a way, but this is how God wanted it. It's crazy, bro. Like, think about this. Who's your favorite player ever? You can't even give me two.
Probably Kobe and Dwayne Wade.
Kobe and Dwayne Wade not only knew who you were, they respected your game. Like, your favorite player, now you got to go back to when you were 8, 9, 10 years old just dreaming about it. And your favorite player ever that seemed like a myth because they were on TV or you
they
just saw them
real,
there.
bro, playing
They
against
know your name.
Yeah.
And they respect your game. Like, come on, bro. This is a dream. I had a game, bro. Uh-oh, I stumped him.
That's a good perspective. I'm just trying to think about, I've never really put in my, I think I'm guilty so much of just always
moving on.
Just moving.
Yeah.
I don't reflect enough to sit here and think about, God rest his soul, man. Kobe Bryant even knowing who I was or taking time to speak to me.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, when I first met Michael Jordan, he's my favorite player ever. When I first met Michael Jordan, he didn't look real. He's right here where you are, and I'm looking at him, and it looks like there's white smoke around him, like the Chappelle Show. Like when he had Prince come out when he's coming off the rim. Like, bro, I'm like, this is Michael Jordan. He was born February 17, 1963. He has a brother named Larry. His mom's named Dolores. Dad's name's James. His favorite Gatorade citrus cooler. Like, I used to have the snap away,
you
snap away bull sweatsuit.
Wow.
Like, bro, this is Michael Jordan. I can name a million different things about him. This is the guy that cut the slit in his shoe when his toe was hurt in the 91 finals. I could tell you everything about this dude, and I'm right in front of him. And this dude inspired me a million miles away. Not literally a million, but it felt like it.
That's your GOAT, right? No question.
Michael Jordan's so great that he helped give us some other greats. Like Kobe and LeBron, they all admitted they looked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he wears 23 because of MJ.
Michael's so great that, when somebody else is great in something, they say he's the Michael Jordan of this.
Yeah,
like,
right.
But everybody has a case. I get it. Like, especially if I'm born now, I'm saying LeBron. If I was born before, I'm saying Kobe. Like, I get it. But for
But
me,
you played against both, though.
all three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael,
Damn, you got to play against all three, man.
he never,
Jesus.
and I'm not saying anything about anybody else. I'm talking just specifically about him. He never let you down. The highest moments, he never let you down. And he played both ends, and he was going to find a way. Like, even we talk about the 98 team, and they won Last Dance, we all saw it. He was 35. He was 35.
He was 35.
He was 35. Pippen missed a lot of the season. Robin's still going on vacation. They still won 60 games and still won the championship. He's a machine. And it's not to knock anybody else, because I think Kobe is that for some, and LeBron is, and Hakeem is the other greats. But that dude is just, Dame said it, 75. When all the greatest of the greats were there, when he walked in, it was something different.
Yeah. Even Wade touched on that. They said he walked in and the whole room shifted. They
It
like,
shifted.
Oh, yeah, that dude's here.
He turns everybody into that kid.
I can't, when I bring up the conversation to my father, who's the greatest of all time, he just starts laughing.
He laughed.
Oh, he's like, it's not even he's like, Austin, you guys don't understand. He's like, it's not even a question.
Could you imagine somebody who
And that's not a slight towards LeBron, because
No.
he thinks LeBron's right there. And he's like,
For
well, LeBron
sure.
has done his definitely
will
earned
never
him-
be done again?
It's earned him the right
Yes.
for people to call him the GOAT
Kobe
as well.
as well.
Yeah,
Like, right?
yeah.
But-
I don't think we'll have another. Those three are going to go down, and
Even Steph, what he's
I was
doing.
going to say Steph is another guy that people will put in that Rushmore, bro.
Bro, like, it's crazy. But this dude is like, could you imagine somebody who was as ferocious as Kobe, who jumped like LeBron, who played defense like Tony Allen, who, like, this is all in one.
Yeah, all in one, man.
Like, this dude's just,
And with evolution, he probably would have been a hell of a. I mean, they didn't shoot the three back then, so that's always been a thing used against him. But it's not like that was a part of the
what'd you
game.
shoot from the field for your career?
For three?
No, from the field.
Probably mid-40s.
I shot 41, I think, 41, 42. He shot 50. For a guard to shoot 50% is like,
Yeah, that's insane.
that's for a career?
People don't know that. No, if you
Like-
don't play, you don't really understand like the difference in percentage. Like shooting 50% from field goal, let alone I'm shooting 7, 8 times a game.
Right.
He had games where he's shooting 30. I mean, the amount of shots he took. So to shoot 50%, not only at the volume, but the degree of difficulty being obviously who he was, shooting double teams, fadeaways. I mean, the type of game he had. To shoot 50% is not even real.
And to accomplish all he accomplished with the least amount of help. I
Yeah,
think of
yeah.
everybody who played, he probably played with the least amount of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it's just Pippen, Robin.
And he won 3, so I'm going to play a different sport. Go play baseball, come back a year and a half and win another.
Boy, Michael, you could do a doc on this dude. You know everything about him.
Oh, everything.
The way you just said sliced the sneaker in the toe. What are you
Yeah,
talking
see
about?
what I'm saying? Like everything. Wearing the Carolina shorts behind every game.
So I ask you, you didn't get this from Michael though, because this is. You at it again.
I'm at it again.
That's in the.
I'm
He
at it again.
gave you the foul,
Yeah,
but
I was in this and
this
1-3
in the state.
wasn't.
This is a
wasn't
state championship.
Yeah.
You pulling that move out.
Yeah.
With full confidence.
Full confidence. I was just thinking about it, and it's crazy because they'll see it later. I'm gonna post a picture of Iverson, and that right there is Iverson all the way. Like the socks, like the fearlessness.
So Iverson, that's
he gave me a certain
him and
fearlessness.
Baron Davis are the two guys you would probably attribute the most to of
Yeah.
where you got.
The swagger with it, like
Because Jamal,
Iverson-
you 6'5" though, bro.
That's the difference.
You know what I'm saying? That is the difference. These
the
guys
difference.
are small and crafty, and for a 6'5" guy to do this, that hasn't been seen. Even since then, like, we don't get shooting guards with that
dribble
type
like-
of
no,
handle.
no, no.
They're just explosive, can jump, can
Yeah,
score, can
yeah.
shoot. You know, they have a little bop to them. You know, Anthony Edwards has some stuff to him. Some of these guys have a handle, but Jamal, you had a Rod Strickland, Iverson-like handle at a 6'5" height. That's not something we get often.
Yeah, and to add to what you're saying, because you're right, and it's a blessing. I don't take credit for it at all. I didn't know I'd be this tall. Like, I didn't take credit for it, but I always was 5'9". I was always smaller, so I was always working on my hand. That's the Iverson cross. I
Yeah,
was
that's
always-
the Iverson
yeah,
cross
left to
right there, left to right.
But the Iverson cross is what made me start doing the behind the back. Because once you try to do the Iverson cross in the hood, everybody wants to do it. Oh, that's the Iverson. So I knew it's coming. It's not working for me as well. Man, what can I do? I can go behind the back. I can go behind the back, behind the back. I can go behind the back cross. I can go behind the back cross, hezzy pull. Like, so my mind's always trying to get the next. And that's what was like special about the imagination. It rains a lot up here. I'll go
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
There's nobody outside on the courts. We didn't have gym access. So I'm looking, I'm like, cool. I'm gonna see somebody from Orlando, Chicago, New York. At some point, I gotta be ready.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
fear was like the best motivator for me.
Damn.
For sure. Look how many people are there.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's a high school state final. Even for a state final,
And
that's a
the
lot of
King
people,
Dome.
man.
So the King Dome holds 70,000. That's a King Dome. That's not like a regular, this is
And
a baseball.
This is after winning the state title.
Yes. My nephew, Ant. Yep.
Hey, 54, big fella was huge. Who?
Best hands I ever played for in my life. He runs the crossover. Dave King.
Oh, really?
Assistant coach for me
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah. Literally the best hand. He made me a bad passer. I would throw any pass and he would catch anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, because he was pivotal in these games. I was
Oh, he was
watching
killing.
game footage. He was the one you was diming up half
All
the
the
time.
time. All the time. And think what's crazy about that is you literally just covered 2 games.
Yeah.
Those were all in 2 games.
Yeah,
like the highlights were all in 2 games, which is crazy.
And then we get to look at this dude. So why Michigan? I heard it's Fab Five.
Fab Five.
Really? So just
They
like
had
the
me-
embark they had on basketball, the trend setting, the black sneakers, the
swagger.
white socks,
You
the,
tell me
the,
all
whole-
the
the whole
reasons.
thing. Yeah.
The swag. Like when's the last time, and I think we've seen it maybe once, where got 5 true freshmen straight out of high school and went to the national championship.
At that time, I've never seen. Or
They did
we
against
haven't even
sophomores.
seen. Yeah, we haven't seen it.
I don't
since
think we've seen it since.
maybe the Duke team with
Yeah.
Justice Winslow and all. But I don't even think it was 5. It was 4.
It's 4.
Yeah.
These are 5, and then did it again as sophomores. So Michigan had me in 8th grade. I was the kid in the backyard. If I make this shot 3, 2, I'm going to Michigan. Make this shot, I'm going to Michigan. I don't even got grades. Like I'm not even eligible. I make varsity the freshman. I'm not even eligible. But I'm saying this. If I make this shot, I'm going to Michigan.
Curriculum wasn't
Oh man.
wasn't up to par here at Rainier Beach High.
I was in the dice game. Came back and got me later when I lost.
You was
that
at the
call.
dice game?
Yeah, I was at the dice game. I was at the dice game.
You told me you didn't even know how far Michigan was from Seattle. You just wanted to go there.
just
You
wanted
didn't
to go.
realize it until you got to campus. You're like, damn, I'm waiting.
Bro, I was a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. Like, and some of it, and it's crazy because some of it, I seen my life playing out how it has. I didn't see me doing media, but I just saw everything playing out how it has.
That's a blessing, man.
Bro, I went to a Mariners game when I was 10 years old. Older gentleman takes me. We leaving the game. I walk out like I'm Ken Griffey. Like, yeah, this how pros. I seen it. I literally seen this. So it's crazy to see it play out. Michigan was.
You like to envision.
I have to, absolutely. I got a Gary Payton T-shirt on right there. I was ineligible, boy. So I was.
With the afro.
Yeah,
You still got a clean line. Could you bring that back?
Oh yeah. I had Lokes the other day. I mean, you know, I was on my jigger, but he went further than I went with it. Yeah, that's when I was at my Iverson. I was doing my braids. My sister.
You
Lori.
get drafted. You average 16, mind you. Before I even get to this, looking fresh and dapper up here. You averaged 16 as a freshman. Mm-hmm. Almost 17 points a game. How was the adjustment?
You did too. You averaged 17, I believe.
No, I think it's 16.
16?
Yeah, 16.
Oh, I thought it was close.
You averaged more. I was like right at 16. You were almost at 17.
We were all watching you as a freshman, by the way.
Yeah, but that was.
Now all the pros were watching.
That was. You know what? I had a slow start to dealing with that.
You hit a game winner your freshman year too, right?
Yeah, the Carolina one. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're all watching.
I started cooking like maybe like 4
What
or 5
changed?
games
What
into
changed?
it. I stopped giving a fuck. I stopped worrying about what everybody else was thinking. I was just like, Austin, just go play, bro. And if
So what happened for you to say that?
I was playing bad.
Oh, you was playing
And
okay,
I got
okay.
to the point where I was like, man, first couple games, I wasn't playing bad. I wasn't playing like the number 1 player in the country.
right.
I had like 12, 13,
Right.
14. Good games for a freshman, but they was like, yo, you're supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like Anthony Davis going crazy in Kentucky.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Brad
And
Beal.
you're watching everything.
Of
You
course.
know.
I'm watching Brad Beal at Florida going crazy. I'm like, dog, I gotta, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just natural. I stopped, and my pops was like, yo, you gotta let go. And he even said, like, Coach K, all these dudes,
You gotta
hey man, you know who you are. You were that before you got here.
See,
Don't let them.
That's a cheat code.
Yeah, bro. That was my biggest advantage. I
That's a
always had
cheat
someone
code.
that could navigate with and tell me what I'm doing wrong.
That's a
He's
cheat
like, that
code.
don't mean don't listen to Coach K and grow. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. It's
Yeah.
Coach K. Don't not be who you are, killer. You know what I mean? That's how you got there. They wanted you because of this. Don't go there and try to be deprogrammed. You know how college can do that, especially
Yeah.
Duke. That was at a time I got there. They just had their first one and done. Obviously, they've had a couple sprinkled in the Magettis, you know, the guys who have come in there. But Kai was like, in this new age, Calipari was rocking college.
For sure.
So Duke just started to change. Remember, right before I got there, it was like Nolan Smith, John Shire,
Yeah,
Kyle
yeah.
Singler.
I
You
played with
went
those.
there for 4 years.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? So it's like, Kai was a big factor in me going to Duke.
Okay.
And him letting freshmen rock out and seeing that.
You saw
Otherwise, I
that,
would have
yeah.
went somewhere else, bro. And that's what really got me. My dad was like, yo, go play, bro.
That's what I mean by the cheat code. Obviously, your dad is Hall of Famer. We know that. But the fact that you know for the ultimate level, he already seen what's coming. He can tell you. Like, and that's why I think a lot of problem is, even now in AAU, you have some parents who never did it. that they want their kid to do this or that. Well, you don't, no disrespect, but you can take them to a certain level, but you got to go seek the answer as well. You had the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, for real.
My son, he got the answer. My team, they have the answer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
they do. That's the biggest advantage we have. But most pros kids don't take it. They want to run from it. You know what I'm saying? Which is a whole different thing. I'm going to touch on that at the end. But you went to college averaging 16, fluid, and you knew you were in and out, right? NBA was a goal.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd leave in a year. I
was about to say, did you go into college thinking you were going to be on one and done?
No, I didn't think so. I thought at most I'd be 2. 1 if I was lucky. Because you got to remember at that time, I'm playing point. A.J. Guyton, Khalid El-Amin, Mo Cleese. Like, all these dudes are seniors, they're juniors, they're proven.
Yeah.
I'm coming out of high school. I wasn't nervous about playing, like, big-time college basketball. My guy, Big Fred, just passed away a few years ago. I got to give him a shout-out. He was from Detroit. And he said, this is the plan, Mo. I'm like, all right. He's one of my big homies, lived here for a while. He's like, your first game on campus, you got to set the tone because they don't really know you out here. LaVelle Blanchard, shout out to him, was Gatorade National Player of the Year. So, and he's from Ann Arbor. So he's the guy. He's like, they don't really know you out here. My first game, I have 21. He's like, okay. Now you play against Detroit. This is where the city, because Ann Arbor's out, out of ways. He's like, this is where the city's going to learn about you. I play against Rashad Phillips, who's cold, giving a lot in the game as well. Game-winning shot. We win the game. It's like, okay, now you're playing Big Ten ACC Challenge. You're playing Georgia Tech. This is where the cable war is going to learn about you. Boom. 14 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, player of the game. We win. He said, okay, now this is the one. We play Duke at Michigan. He said, this is where everybody's going to learn about you. I go out at 27-6. Coach K comes to me after the game. It's like, how'd they let you go out of Washington? He's like, man, you got so many moves. Like, we can't guard you. I'm like, this is Coach K saying this. Like, this is Coach K saying this, right? So somebody you dream about meeting and competing against, and then after that, it was out of here. To this day, Sam Cassell, Rod Strickland, man, I watched you at Penny. Penny just told me this. I watched you at Michigan when you played against Duke. Like,
I got to look up this tape.
They were watching that? That's crazy, yeah.
27?
Sure 27-6. We played against Jay Will.
Oh, yeah, we can find that.
Yeah, Jay Will. We played against Jay Will, Dunleavy, Boozer.
Oh, wow.
Casey Sanders, Battier, Chris Carrawell. That was that group. Yeah.
And then the decision of leaving, you felt confident enough, obviously making that jump from high school to college, going from being a proven player in high school as you know it, but then averaging 16 at a major D1 college. You knew right away, I'm going league.
At least I thought. You want to hear something crazy? I wasn't going at that point. Michigan said, I'll come home after school. Like, you got to come back in 3 weeks for summer school. I'm like, what? So I'm put my name in the draft. I said, because I put my name in the draft, I don't got to go to summer school. So I'm just going to put my name in the draft and I can go back later. So they put my name in the draft. And by this time, bro, I put my name in the draft. My coach, Coach Towns, he's at Kansas right now. Said, Jamal, come to Chicago camp. I go to 2 workouts before that. I kill him, but I don't know. He's like, come to Chicago camp, you'll kill it. I go to Chicago camp, I play 2 days there. By the time I leave there, you're gonna be a lottery pick. So I got one of the phantom groin injuries. I'm like, all right, shut it down. They're like, well, Crawford shut it down. Like, I've done enough. And from that point on, Joe Dumars, Coach Carl, I went to Jerry Krause, rest in peace. I went to these cities and I just talked to them. And I was a lottery pick. So I wasn't really leaving. Summer school is what pushed me to put my name in.
Summer school is like, I'm not doing that. I'm done.
We talked about me in school, right? We talked about that, right? Just revisit. I was like, I could buy time with this. And he can't be mad at me. I'm gonna put my name in this draft. So I didn't have the coach's support. So when this happened, they were all like, what? This dude played half of it. You played 17 games?
Some Kyrie stuff.
Me and him played the 2 least amount of games to be drafted that high.
Really?
In history, yeah. Look it up, history. I was first until he did. He played less games than I did.
He played 11 or something,
he was a higher pick. Yeah. And here's a funny moment. I've never said this. Here you go. Shout out to the great Harvey Catchings. I get up here, I shake Mr. Stern's hand, rest in peace. He said, about time. Like, it took me forever on my time.
Oh, you was making
I was making my round. Look how long it'll take me. I've never told. Oh, so I've already given you 3 stories I've never told. Look, he said, first he said, congrats, about time. All right, take this picture. Look, that's it right there. All right, take this picture. And now knowing the great Mr. Stern as we know him and how serious he is about everything, nah, you don't play that game. You don't play
175.
Come on, man.
Couldn't put a body on you, though, Ma.
Well, what I figured out was this. I looked at basketball like boxers, too. Look, I'm playing off a bounce. I'm saying if I'm quick enough, they can't touch me. So it doesn't matter how strong they are. And I can use their strength against them. Spin move coming. I don't forget none of this, Oz. I'm telling you. Watch out, Hezzy pull. Why don't you carry
That's right there, Duke, right there.
I'm telling you, 27. Watch out, Batty. Try to take the charge. Nope, I'm going to avoid that. Float right. Soft touch, off a pick. I think those were the hyper dunks at the time. Watch out. And the only lob I've ever caught on record. NBA or college, right there.
For real?
Yeah, right there. That was it.
That's the only lob you've ever caught?
In life. In a professional setting.
But I've seen you throw it off the glass, though.
Yeah, that was to myself. But
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
actually
yeah.
threw me a lob. Kirk Heinrich tried one time in Chicago. I messed it up, and they were mad at Kirk. Like, why'd you throw it to him?
Bro, your memory with stuff like that
Oh, yeah.
is like a steel trap,
Yeah,
bro.
it's clear. It's very clear.
You watch your own tape?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and when I was watching, I used to steal for myself. What I found out about myself, too, is I would go through patterns where I would do the same moves for like a week. I'm like, that's just not working. Let me go back. Oh, I can bring that back. And I would relearn stuff as well.
And then you get drafted.
Oh, you're going here?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Briefly.
Yeah.
You end up with the Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you already alluded to how important Jordan was just in terms of
Everything.
an idol in your life as a basketball
Yeah.
player, playing for the Bulls, man, playing in a major city like that. How was it, though, going from, I think a teaching point could be made here just in terms of young players understanding not everything is built in one day. We live in a social media era where we see the final product and how everything looks. So you see Jalen Brunson now and you see how great it is.
I used to shoot with him in Chicago.
Really?
He was an 8-year-old kid, because Rick Brunson's my vet. He was an 8-year-old kid coming to the facility. We'd shoot. I'm the closest. I think I was 19, 20 at the time. I was the closest in age to him, so I'm shooting with him. Who knew? Maybe another number 11 more popular.
No, for real. No,
right?
Brunson is
crazy.
It was crazy and that even proves my point more. They see the finished product, they don't see the work that goes into it. But from a guy who just dominated high school, just dominated Michigan as a freshman, now you with the historic Bulls playing for your idol's team.
Yeah.
But the minutes are inconsistent. You're dealing with injuries now. You miss a lot of games.
And you can relate to that.
Yeah, no,
being a lottery pick,
lottery
right?
pick, and all this pressure and like wanting to do these things. I know how it feels. So I'm asking you though. I want to know what your mind was, your mental. How did you adjust? How did you approach each day, knowing, okay, for one, I'm not getting minutes right now. What can I do to play? You know, how to not walk. You know how some kids. It's tough, Jamal. This is a tough answer and a tough question because we are in a different era now where if kids deal with conflict, they just run.
They run.
If you in college and not playing, you transfer.
Yeah.
If you in high school and you don't play, you transfer.
Yeah.
It's just different now. And for kids, when they make the NBA, you don't get to just transfer.
No.
You got to figure it out. The top guys who've just been bouncing around and found their way.
That's a really good point.
So I just want to know how you dealt with that and what was your focus, what was your mindset like?
Right here, it's like, you got to remember, so I don't play my first 2 years of high school because of my grades. I played my last 2 years. This is an organized basketball period. I played 2.5 years before I get here. I played 2 years of high school, I played half a year of college, now I'm in the NBA. So I just jumped 3 levels in 2.5 years. And
That's
like
crazy.
And I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm trying to figure it out in a way where, you came in as a point as well, high pick. I'm going to a team that's not very good.
Yep.
The best player ever in his team just left 2 years before, so they're still kind of the effect of that. And I'm
2 years prior?
They won in 98.
98.
I'm here in 2000.
Damn, so you really was right behind the
Right
dynasty.
there, literally. So I'm like, damn. So I'm trying to figure out to the point at first when I'm coming down court, I'm looking at coach like kind of running that. He's like, man, just play. But I was so insecure and I'm still young and I'm trying to figure it out. And so I had so many days where I would go play at the park with guys during the season, or I go to a YMCA just to keep my confidence. Like, man, do I belong here? I knew my talent would win out at some point. Oh, and by the way, to your point, I'm 175 and I'm playing a hand check league. This ain't a league where it's freedom of movement at this point. These are it's grown men, right? And so I'm trying to figure it out. And by the end of this season, you can go back and look. I scored 17 points 3 of the last 5 games. I guarantee if you go to my game logs from this year, 17 points 3 of the last 5 games. Like, okay, I got it. Then after this year is when I meet the great Mike.
Damn.
Yeah.
Physicality-wise, the adjustment, you just touched on it.
Yes.
Was that a struggle? Or, I mean, it seemed like when the minutes were there for you, you played pretty damn well, especially considering when you were healthy. You had some big games, multiple games, where you put stuff together. I think this is one of your games. You had like 17 in this game.
17 was always my magic number.
17?
For whatever reason, it was always the magic number. I hit that number probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Same number. One more. Okay. Could have did one more, but that was a good shot. But I miss the days of just figuring it out, to your point. I miss the days of going through struggle and then like, oh, I figured that out. I can add that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't given.
Because you did figure it out, Maul.
Yeah.
Your jump, you went from a rookie year that was riddled with like, it's not that you weren't playing well, it's just inconsistency in minutes being a rookie. Figuring out who you were, because you were like a guard, point guard, but a scoring guard, still trying to figure out your pace in the league. And then again, it was like a franchise that was in full rebuild, rebuild, remodel mode, where they're trying to kind of figure out who they are. You had a jump, man, because you go from that to then the following, seasons. Your last, you were there 2 years, 3 years,
4. And you know what? That jump happened because of Michael Jordan. And the reason why first year,
you're saying your jump in your game,
and I'm gonna tell you why.
For the Bulls happened from Michael Jordan.
Mid-season, my rookie year, Tim Grover calls me, and he says, "Hey, MJ said you could meet him." And my dad had said, "Hey, MJ likes your game during the draft process." I'm like, "Dad, you don't know Jordan. But this ain't social media. You don't know him, right?" That was the first time I ever did that in the game, by the way. I was.
We're gonna touch on that later. Trust me, that's coming a little bit.
So.
That's crazy.
I go to meet him at Hoops. He's preparing at this time for the Wizards to come back. I didn't know it. 6 in the morning, he's working out. I get there. It's just myself, Grover, and him. And I'm just quiet watching him. I'm like, I can't believe Michael Jordan. He's like, man, I've always liked your game. I'm like, damn, my dad was right. It's the first thing I thought, my dad was right. We could work out together this summer. I'm like, okay. I leave. I try to call everybody back here in Seattle, but they're 2 hours behind, so it's 4 in the morning, whatever. Nobody's up. I tell AJ Godden, hey, I just met Jordan. Like, okay, we in practice though. Fast forward that summer, and you know this. There's always a couple times. There's probably two to three times max, where you feel your game go from here, and that was one of those times. That's probably my second time I felt my game go from here. I'm playing on this team. I'm not missing a shot. I'm shooting, making, and I'm playing off of him, catch and shoot. But I'm learning how to play. And I'm like, if the best player ever is saying you got game and he believes in you, I'm not even worried about anybody else.
Playing with him gave you that total confidence and him giving a trust in you and shooting. And yeah. So he's telling you to be aggressive.
Bro, just imagine this court. There's chairs right there. Jay-Z sitting there. Beyonce sitting there. This is at a pickup run. So it was like he did Space Jam, but part 2 for his second comeback.
Yeah.
So it's not like a regular there's pressure. Ray Allen's over there hooping, Penny's over there, like, and I'm still, you know how it is, I'm a rookie. It'd be like you playing your rookie year with Bron, KD, Curry, Run. Like, damn, I'm still trying to establish myself, like, but I'm playing with him, and he's like, no, shoot it, you got it. And I felt my game where I'm throwing off the backboard, dunking at some point in those runs because I'm feeling that. I saw a young LeBron. LeBron was there at 16. So I seen all this happening in real time, but I always felt safe because I got this dude that's like, no, you got it, you got it. Trust me, you got it.
Wow.
So that's what helped take my game to
and then you talked about guys that you took from or guys that you looked up to.
Yeah.
We talked about your armband placement on your legs.
Tattoos is all Iverson.
And now here you are going against the man himself.
Yes.
Having a complete duel with him. Was this your 3rd year?
Yeah. You can go back and look this up. Fact check this, please, Ant. I had 33 points, 8 assists. I thought I played good defense on him. He had 42 points. 6. He shot 11. He shot 11 for 28. Go ahead and look it up, Ant. Game log 2003. April. The game was in April.
This dude is.
And matter of fact, I slept with the ball that night.
Oh, you took the ball.
Because that was my career high at the point. Yeah.
Versus AI too, an idol.
Yep. Versus an idol. Hezzy, float. I used to always
see. This is my thing though. Aaron McKee actually was a hell of a defender.
Great defender.
These guys weren't used to guarding shooting guards of your size with that type of bop, though.
So we both had our advantages.
Yeah.
Like you, right? You at your size playing the 2, you're shiftier than every 2 you're going to play against. They may have you, Mitch Richmond may have you in strength or whatever.
Yeah, I was undersized as a 2, but I was quicker than everybody.
There you go. So that was my advantage. And at this point, I figured out my advantage. Oh, okay, I just can't have you touch me. So now my feet got to be sharper. Now I got to be even crisper in my handle.
He was so tough. That's
the first time I ever pulled that off in the game. Ever.
Like the bench, look at the bench reaction. They like, bro, what did he just do? Look at Aaron.
That was it. Woo. And at that point, it was the moment I asked you, I'm like, damn, I said, now I know Allen Iverson knows my name. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you know they talk about that in the bus. You know after you play a game and after everybody starts bringing up that play that happened, like, yo,
we
you
know
got
that
dunked
now,
on.
but I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn, AI knows my name. That's the first thing I'm thinking. Like, one of my favorites knows my name.
No, y'all was going at it this
No.
game, man. So was he? I always try to like.
Did you play against him? Caught him late.
I might have caught him his last year, maybe.
Okay.
Nah, it wasn't like you was playing against AI, bro.
So, let me tell you this, bro. I'm thin on 175. I remember I bumped into him, and he flew. And it wasn't like he was trying to sell a foul. I'm like, damn, he got to be like 160 max.
Yeah.
But he was so confident, and he was always in attack mode. And what I loved about him and where I got it from is we very rarely seen him do a crazy crossover and miss the shot. He usually always made it when he did something crazy.
If you're going to go out of pocket, you know what I mean, you got to finish the play.
You got to finish it. And that's why
Okay.
I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do something, I got to finish it. So I would hate if I had a crazy move, even the rim sound if that was on. I remember that sound. Yup.
Used to drop in. Look, bro, look at the handle. Look at the move.
No front. But I'm just, right now you're watching a young kid who's like getting his NBA confidence, knowing he belongs. You know what I mean? This ain't Jay Crossover. This is like
No, this
this young
is young,
skinny
this
kid
is the
from
beginning
Jamal
of
trying
that.
to figure it out. Yes. Me and Jay Will playing together. And that's when we really took off, because at that time, Coach Cartwright didn't believe we were both points. If he played 32 minutes, I was playing 16. If I played 24, we didn't never play together till the end of that season. And we were just balling. And I love playing with Jay Will. Because we could both run pick
People
and roll.
forget how good Jay Will was, man.
He was the Reggie Bush
Like,
of college.
Jay had game, bro. I mean, we're just
Yes.
gonna run through these clips quickly, but you really started. It seemed like you found your pace. I mean, now you touched on it. You started to figure out what your strengths were as a shooting
right
guard.
there on the court. T-Mac.
Yeah, T-Mac.
Jamal Howard. That's
was
Ty
at-
Lue guard me right there.
Oh, I was at this game.
Yep, Danielle Marshall.
I was there in the stands, row 5, bro, watching you play. I was at this game.
Are you serious?
Yep, I was there. I was like, I want to say 9 years old, 10 years old at this game, 11 years old at this game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because Pops was coaching.
Yeah, I'm
That's
here.
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Which is a crazy full circle moment. Yeah,
Come
no,
on, bro.
actually, you could probably, I'm actually right here.
Oh, no. If he paused and find
right-
where he's sitting now, this really about to be crazy.
That's me I'm right above this dude right here. I don't know if you can see it.
So
but-
that's crazy.
Huh?
That's-
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, bro. Isn't that crazy, though?
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
That's where our seats were. We were right there. Boy, well, I went to every game. I
You went to every game?
Oh, what? I wouldn't miss T-Mac's game for the world, bro.
Oh, man. I worked out with T-Mac. I went to stay at his house in Houston
Really?
when I was with the Knicks. Yeah.
This is when he's playing for the Rockets?
Yeah, I went to stay at him and stayed in his guest house, and that's when I saw it work at. This is a buzzer beater, by the way. 2 of these came in that game. That's one. The second one, 2 people were going to fall in the third quarter.
And the third?
Yeah. 2 people were going to fall. Oh, here it is. Guaranteed. Going baseline. Zaza.
Zaza.
That's 1. That's 2.
Is that Vaughn?
1.5. I'm
That's
sorry.
Jock.
1.5. I'm sorry. You see the replay? Oh, he didn't show the replay. It's all good.
We get into these clips, bro. That's what I'm saying. That third year, though, in Chicago Mall, you really started.
Yeah, I
that's
figured
when,
it
like,
out.
the talent, where people were seeing, okay, this guy can be a prolific scorer in the NBA.
And I got to give Jerry Krause and B.J. Armstrong and Pete Myers props as like people I didn't play with, but like really fostered that. They gave me confidence. They really did.
So that green light, they started to instill that in you.
Yeah,
Obviously,
like,
you
no, you
started, the
got it.
confidence started to come. You're playing better, playing with Jordan, realizing your strengths,
Yeah.
all these different things attributed. But also, obviously, like you said, it takes a village. You got to have a franchise that.
Go back on that if you can, Austin. Even like you said, at this point, they're not used to seeing some of this stuff. Look at the move. Derek Fisher jumps with the hezzy.
Ooh, quick too.
Quick hezzy off the catch. Like at this
You
point,
went
it's
right
a different.
into it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a different like a different mode of what's coming. Like with as far as handling the rock. You know what I'm saying? Like it's coming to the league.
Let me ask you, because I'm just peeping this, watching this film. You went to Michigan because of the Fab Five.
Yeah, I'm playing with Jalen.
Now you just assisted Jalen Rose on the.
Yeah.
Like, how playing for MJ's.
Come on, bro.
Like, this
God
stuff
don't make
really did
mistakes.
come together
I'm
for you,
telling
bro. Now that you
I'm telling you, bro,
like,
I seen
the way
this.
you dreamed. So what? I need to get the lotto numbers from you.
Bro, I'm
the
telling
way you able to.
Hey,
Like,
did you see when I called out the Luka play?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a visionary. You got to.
Which game was that?
They were playing the T-Wolves. And Taylor Rooks, the great Taylor Rooks, was like, what's about to happen? I said, Luka's going to get a pick and roll, and Rudy's going to be in action.
Yeah.
He's going to do a crossover step back. He's going to hop on one leg. She's like, yeah, if that happens. He did literally and hopped on one leg. I'll send you the video.
And when's the Powerball? I'm dead ass serious. The way come on now. The way you envision this, you was assisting Jay Rose on the break.
Yeah, it's crazy. Come back, handoff.
And then
quick pull.
You get to the point now where this era,
Oh, now come on. I'm gonna tell you a story about this one after we finish this game, in particular. This game right here, we played Phoenix the night before. The night before, I had 23 points the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. Then this game was 52, so it was like 75 over a 47-minute span. It was crazy, but it happened because of D-Wade, to be honest with you, because I was so nervous, and he's such a great player, and I knew he was coming to put on the show. They just won the championship.
Yeah, and when teams come to the Garden, it's
and he's a made man at this point. Like they just won a championship. I wasn't supposed to start. Steve Francis was supposed to start.
Was this with Larry Brown or Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Because you started a lot of games with Isaiah, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but I wasn't supposed to start this game because we just got Steve Francis. This is.
Oh, right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think he was hurt that game. So this was, shout out to Steph, I was talking to him today. I missed my first 4 shots, by the way.
I peeped watching film here that your first 3 was 25 points into the game. So I knew he had to come out. It's always more impressive when I see a player have a big game after starting slow. It's one thing to come out and make your first 6 and then everything's moving, but look at continuation back there. Boy, you could get a whole look at this. You could just keep going and get a whole layup. You even got a little razzle dazzle on it.
Some free money, for sure. But this was one of those days. Good read at pick and roll. This is one of those days that you're in your workout and you can't miss, and you made 20 shots.
So you felt good.
Oh yeah. Once this happened,
and then coming off the game like you said you just had,
you
already in a momentum.
You can't miss.
Did Wade say anything to get you going, or was it just more like a respect thing? Like I got Wade coming to town. He's trying to put on a show. Like
I know I'm
gonna go. Okay.
Exactly. That's what it was. Like
52 though, Maul.
It came out. Look when I come out though. I come out the game with 7 minutes to go.
You made 16 straight field goals?
42 straight points. Yeah, without a miss. If this was the hottest night I've ever had in life. So if this was a close game, this would have been 65.
Damn.
And your dad, Isaiah, they're big on respect. So when they took Wade out the game, he took me out. And remember, this is when the brawl happened early in the year with Nate and Denver and all that. So he's big on the whole, you shouldn't be in the game. So he said, when they take their guy, I'll take you out. But you just get lost, bro. Like every time you just feel like you can't miss. And you can't accomplish 50-something points by yourself. Screens are being set, the passes, like
that's
everybody.
And people got to be willing to pass it a hot hand.
We had a play call 52 after this game because I scored it out. Zeke said, "Hey, bring up that 52. Give me that 52."
What was the play?
You'll see him say, all I do is hawk down the middle. That was it. He said, "Hey, yeah, we gonna run that play that Maul was getting hot on. Yeah, we gonna call 52." And I can guarantee you this too, because a couple of my teammates was mad. After this game, we went to Orlando, and we had a meeting. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm giving you, because you're my guy, I'm giving you all this. And if I'm lying, ask Zach Randolph.
Now, Zebo ain't gonna lie.
Or Q Rich. He said, "Hey, I know." No, I was wrong. It wasn't after this game. It was when we played the Lakers later on. Me and Kobe had a face-off. And that was the first time Kobe acknowledged. Same year though. And he was like, "Hey, I know they got Kobe, but we got our own. I ain't gonna say it, but he said we got our own version." Is what he said.
Who said that?
Zeke. The great Isaiah said that. Ask Q Richard or Zach.
And he said it in front of the team?
The whole team. We were in Orlando.
Did that create a...
Because
I'm not saying...
Yes,
I'm not
trying
to call these guys out, but the roster that you had put in place here, these are some ball-dominant guys, bro. You got Stephon Marbury, Q Rich,
and Steve Francis.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
everybody wasn't happy with that. And you know me, I'm a recluse anyway. Like I'm going.
Yeah, you're not a confrontational type of guy. I don't think I've ever even seen you get into it with somebody more.
No, And I spend so much time by myself, it can make it feel weird, like, oh, he thinks he's better. You know, it's just.
No,
you
yeah,
know
people
how
will
it
start
goes.
just looking at
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
especially
He
you
said
in New
that.
York, bro.
He said that.
There's no other city scoring 52 in the Garden is not something that people get to. NBA players don't get to like say they've done, bro. You know what I mean? Like
I was looking at the Garden the other day when I was there 2 weeks ago, playoff game, and they had like a alumni watch fest. So there's no the crowd's there, no game. I'm standing up and I'm looking at the court. And I said, damn, that's the world's most famous arena.
Yeah, bro.
If you're the best ever in anything, you got to come here.
gotta come here.
Jay-Z, your Prince, your Michael Jackson. I don't care who you are, you got to come and perform there. So you're right to score 50 there. And
on Wade.
bro, Heath Ledger's at that game.
What's the story about that? I heard the Heath Ledger story
Heath
a little
Ledger's
bit.
at the game.
What is that?
So I get a email.
May he rest in peace too.
Yeah,
by
rest
the way,
in peace.
legend.
So the Heath Ledger story goes like this. So I always look to see like faces in the crowd, celebrities. And I get an email probably 6 months ago, and the guy was like, hey, FYI, I was at the game with Heath. And we were at the game when you scored 52 points and you went off, and that night we went to Spotted Pig and hung out with Jay-Z, and Heath had told him about what he saw. And after that, Heath started playing basketball. He said, so just know you had an effect on him playing basketball.
And you know, Ho was probably like, oh, Maul.
Yeah, because we were tight, right?
So he's thinking, all right, going to my first Knicks game, basketball game, this dude goes for 52.
Yeah.
Against the championship
team.
Then I go out, I'm hanging out with Jay-Z, he's talking about you.
Yeah.
And now he wants to play basketball.
It's crazy. That's what he said. So like you never know who's watching, you never know who's,
damn, that's
crazy.
That is crazy.
That's
man.
crazy, bro. Like,
and now that you're older, you know, you touched on it earlier, reflecting about looking at that court and realizing, I mean, people have really gotten to see it this year with the success the Knicks have had, what it does for the NBA and what it does for the city of New York, how much gasoline is poured on when they play well, when they play bad. I mean, like the Tibbs, you know, obviously all this stuff that's going on, right? Like, it is such a stage. There's no other team like it. Second would be the Lakers, but New York is far ahead of everyone else.
It's nothing like it. It's perspective, like you said. Like right now, right, the court has my name on it, and we're sitting on it, and we know it. But if we went up there on the bleachers and looked down, it's like, wow, that court has your name. So it's all perspective in life, right? The picture, you may look at the picture and see something. I may look at the picture and see something else, but it's the same picture. So it's just like that day at the Garden, I'm looking, I'm kind of elevated, I'm looking down, I'm like, damn, like the best of whoever it is in the world has performed here on the stage. So it's a blessing.
Bro, your tape, your Knicks tape is nutty, man.
This is my first official game winner ever. On record was this one.
Were you ever because I played with you, how many times we've been at the end of a game and I've seen you make big shots, bro, where I pass it to you. I remember just seeing, waiting for, hoping.
Oh, make it up on the fly. See? School noodle hit the buzzer on that one.
Hold on, we going, because this one right here, bro, is like this out of all of them.
That's why you never see it again. I literally made it right there. I'm coming out court like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
That's the hardest one, though, out of all of them. You've got some nasty ones.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then, did you do one on Andre?
Yeah, but it wasn't that. That was a one-on-one.
It was Kirk reaching for it.
Yes.
And putting over him and having him turn around like that.
Like, what happened? Because Kirk knew my game. We played together. So he knew the double behind the back was coming. That's what made me nervous.
That was
OD.
step
over was just, that was, bro, I ain't gonna lie, here you
Where'd you get this from? Like, no one's done this move before. I don't think people have done it even since in the league. You're the only guy I've ever seen do this move, bro.
And as you know,
this is crazy, Maul. Like, this tape is OD, man. It's like you got a Balls Life tape in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got this same tape, but mine first, like,
hold on. Can we talk about best mixtapes? What's this guy talking about right now?
Dudes that work in like offices and stuff now. Yours is the best players in the world,
that's
bro.
That's the difference. You could do whatever you did there on the biggest stages with opportunity. That's how I always looked at. I can do this at LA Fitness, the Globetrotter stage, the NBA stage. My flow doesn't change. It's my flow, right? You have your flow. It was just about the opportunity to be able to do your flow. Your flow don't change because you owned your flow, and that was my thing.
Look at you playing defense here, getting
I turned the ball over. I had to get it back.
And with the rear view contest.
Yep.
Which didn't bother you. You played off the pick and roll well with the rear view contest. You never even saw it.
And that only happened because he shook the hell out of me earlier.
Darren?
Oh my God! He would jump on the screen.
Yeah, oh my goodness!
I jumped. I don't even play defense. I jumped too, and I was way over there in the garden in front of my people. I had to get him back.
He was so nasty. That pace, man. Let me ask you, where did you learn how to shoot off the dribble the way you did? I think It is a lost start in today's
Yeah.
NBA. It's all catch and shoot.
It's all
now.
catch and shoot.
Yeah, you have one guy that can do it.
Right.
You only have 1 to 2 guys a team that can shoot off the dribble. Everybody else is specialty players. Like the days of players like you don't exist.
No, they don't exist.
You know what I mean?
no
Like
more.
Rob Dillingham's gonna have to figure out a way to get minutes.
It's literally,
You know what I'm saying?
we were the last of a dying breed. If you really think about it, because now 3-and-D is in.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is now that, like, the Knicks, right? You take out of Brunson's hand, who can make plays?
Yeah,
So what's
need-
interesting is the need
They
for a shot
they
creator
do
to come
need
back.
it though. Yeah, that's
in
the
the playoffs.
thing.
Yeah.
Can't have too much of the 3-and-D.
No.
Obviously, those guys run a premium, but the playoffs happen and the ball gets sticky. And
We're going to cut the house thing. Who else is going to make a play for everybody else?
yeah, you need somebody else.
You need somebody else.
Yeah, you need somebody else to
Yeah.
make a play.
So
The
that
Knicks-
may come back.
The
I
Knicks
think
ran
it's-
into trouble with that, and that's why the Pacers have been able to really kind of run through these playoffs.
Right.
It's really just due to them having multiple
For
ball
sure.
handlers and guys who can make plays.
For sure.
But I mean, bro,
But the pace and shooting off the dribble comes from, like, that was
look at
it.
that back pedal, dog. Look at this back
I knew.
pedal.
I knew.
Look at this. You
Shout out
gotta-
to Steph, 'cause he trusted me, because I was 6 for 26 until that shot. And I ended 7 for 27 with the game winner. That's where that swagger back pedal came from. I ain't scared. I ain't never scared.
Woo!
Yup. Look at Steph. Yup. And that's an awkward play, right? If you're on defense, because you look like somebody stopped. Your first reaction is to go back. This was tough because I usually don't go right for game winners. I usually like to go left.
Yes, sir, you do.
Yeah, so that's why I had to brush my shoulders
Where
off.
did you learn how to shoot off the dribble go in each hand, though? And how to, it's, you know, we kind of just touched on it. Shooting off the dribble is kind of a lost art. We are in the age where, like, each team has 1 or 2 guys who can do it, and
Yeah.
everybody else is catch and shoot and this. You were so prolific, and it wasn't just off basic right hand. You would double behind the back to have the placement, the balance, to
Yeah.
know how to where the rim is. Where'd you pick that up at?
Nick Van Axel, Mahmoud, Zeke, like shooting off the dribble, because Kobe, Iverson was master. Like, he'll dribble and fade on his shot. Like, he'll get space by fading. Jordan was so fundamentally sound, and then Kobe took that and added his own twist to it, right? But watching those guys, Nick Van Axel especially, like, he was so cold. He doesn't get enough credit.
Nick Van Axel?
Yeah, quick.
he's another
He
lost
was
gem.
cold. He was
He's
cold.
a lost
Rob
gem for
Strickland.
sure.
Yeah, those guys were the ones I was watching shooting off the dribble, for sure.
Because you,
Penny.
I gotta be honest, man. I've played with some of the best off the dribble
Yes,
players.
James
you know,
Harden.
James, and
Yeah,
some of these
for
guys.
sure. Absolutely.
I've never seen you. You're up there, bro, with like
I appreciate
one
it.
of the top guys I've ever seen be able to shoot off the dribble, off
Yeah.
the move. I mean, you make tough shot making not look tough, bro. I
But
mean, you used to,
Grant and T-Mac helped me doing pull-up rights. I remember I like to hang dribble
Yeah,
left.
hang
up.
dribble,
They
yeah.
both, when I went to stay
Grant
with
Hill?
T-Mac. Yeah, Grant. T-Mac showed it to me and was like, oh, it's easy. And he did it, and I'm like, oh, wow, okay. But Grant, we watched film, and he like broke down the science of how to pull up one right, and the footwork going into it, and the placement, and that made it a lot easier. For sure. I had game winners back-to-back nights.
so we've seen like 10 though already.
But this was back-to-back nights. Like, it happened on Monday. We played again on Wednesday. I did it that next.
bro, hitting a game winner in the Garden. Obviously, this footage is choppy.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you know you old. You know what I
They
mean?
aged me with this
Look
one.
at this. This is worse than NBA Live. Like
Look, all these
06.
are going left though. I'm a bump chance right here, hang dribble, fade, going left. See, all those ones are going left. I'm telling you. I have 4 game winners in 1 year at one point with the Knicks.
And then you fast forward, and before I want to talk about this, I want to really talk about the importance of you making this adjustment in your career, man.
Okay.
All right, you go from having early on trials and tribulations like every player does, but obviously it's a lottery pick, a lot more pressure. You deal with that. You find out what type of player you are. Then you start having success in the NBA, right? Then you go to New York and you have more success, but even as a starter, dog,
Right.
to where you're putting up seasons where you're averaging 17 a game, miss a game. You even had 1 year off the bench with Larry Brown put you off the bench. You had 14.
Yeah.
So you've had the
You
success,
do all your
right?
research, yeah.
For sure, bro.
Yeah,
Come
I
on
see.
now. And to go to, and obviously you went to the Warriors before, started there and averaged 20.
Yeah.
So to have success as a starter, you know how it is as a player. No one matters more than yourself.
Yeah, for
all right, let's
sure.
just call it for what it is.
For
You
sure.
always want to win. It's about winning. It's all these different things. But
you want success.
You want success for your
Yeah.
damn self. You don't want
go back to your neighborhood,
You damn
like, look,
sure, right?
yes.
Yeah, and you want the pay. You want everything that
Everything
comes
comes
with
with
it. Okay. To be a starter in the NBA is a premium
Yeah.
in terms of payment. You
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah.
Because Jamal, I look at your career earnings. Obviously, you made a shit ton of money. You made $100 million. Your level of play, you're like a $300-400 million earner type player, dog.
More, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Come on. For the impact you've had on the game and how you were.
So where you're going with this, I appreciate that.
How did you take that mindset and adjust coming to this team where they're asking you? You just had 20 off as a starter for the Warriors. Now they're telling you, Joe Johnson, Bibby, this team, hey, we need you to come off the bench. How did you take your ego out of it and make that adjustment?
Because I think the one thing in life that's constant is change. And so no matter what the situation is, you're going to have to change. I think if you don't change, you die. You have to continue to evolve. You have to continue to find another mountain to climb. And it wasn't ideal, but as you know, I was at year 10 right there, and they put you in a box, especially the old NBA. Oh, he's only a point. Oh, he's only a 2. It wasn't fluid. It wasn't positionless basketball. It wasn't like, oh, he's a winner, he's a loser. So I was being known as a good player on bad teams. I'm like, no, I'm a winner. I won as a kid. I won as a
So that struck a chord.
Yeah,
that
it bothered
like
me.
He puts up numbers on teams that don't win.
That bothered me. I'm like, no, I can do anything. I can do it.
Because it was your 10th year before you made the playoffs for your first time.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but I was like, nah, I'll do whatever it takes to win. And I still averaged 18 off the bench, 153
Yeah, you did.
games.
You was hooping, bro.
Right? But this is the part, and I should have made All-Star of the year. This is the part that people don't get. Oh, you sacrifice to come off the bench. Cool. You're sacrificing money. You're sacrificing all-star.
That's what I'm saying, bro. When you go to the bench, you lose a lot of that stuff, bro.
You do.
You know what I mean?
You do. And that's when I relied on my foundation of just dreaming about being here. I've never been into, look, I got an Adidas watch on right now, plastic. Like, I've never been, sometimes I still wear a shoestring to hold my pants off.
Jamal,
that's how it goes.
I sat next to you on the plane, brother, for a full year, and you had them damn I know you're going to talk. I'm
going to tell you a funny story.
Them shitty ass headphones that you, bro. He had the headphones on. He had the headphones on that has a little styrofoam on each side with the wire that can. And I'm not dramatized. I'm dead ass serious.
And we're not editing your laugh out there too. Tape. I want that in there.
You had
I want
tape.
You to know authenticity of
You
this.
had a tape that you would tape it or a CD player.
Yeah.
And mind you, we got iPhones, all this stuff out, guys. All right, this isn't that long ago. It's 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
We are up to date here. I'm on an iPhone watching
Everybody
a movie.
is.
This dude got a CD player with headphones that doesn't have surround sound. Doesn't have
That's just what happens.
Doesn't have noise cancellation.
No.
And I remember I used to be
that?
like, Jamal, please, I'll get you the headphones.
Yeah, you say that.
I was like, bro, you're like, brother, you're a man of routine though.
Yeah, I am. And think about when I switched to Adidas, right? And you know the story. Nobody knows the story. It's like the 8th. Nobody knows the story going around. But Adidas has me these shoes. I'm like, nah, they ain't comfortable. I don't feel like myself. These shoes, Austin has some throwaways. He didn't throw these shoes away. I mean, they're deep in his closet. He may have worn them 2 years ago. I said, that shoe's perfect. Let me wear them.
Which one were those?
The white Adidas with the black stripes. Go back to the picture.
Yeah.
And I wore his shoes that he had threw away, but they felt comfortable to me. I didn't need all the brand new. Yeah, I didn't need the. They stopped making them.
Yeah, they would make. We had to find them on like eBay and stuff and buy them.
I'm telling you. And so I let me wear shoes, and I felt like me again. So thank you for that. I'm telling
Thank you for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
So that charged you playing good on winning basketball.
Yes.
Being a part of winning basketball, being synonymous with that.
On a winning team. Because I always knew that was for me. And to take it a step further, and now being reflective, this is crazy because gang, run off. To take it a step, I was as hot as Gucci Mane in Atlanta. I mean, I'm telling you, it was, they loved me there. And I loved them because it was real people, like it was real folks.
No, being in Atlanta, being in this city with that.
Oh, man, everybody was there.
What was going on at this time?
No, it was, you know what? Just like any other cities, you didn't see me unless it was the gym or the corner store.
You know what, Maul? That's a good point, though, that I briefly will touch on. You don't see you outside of the...
Ever. I'm in a gym.
If you weren't in a gym,
you didn't see me.
I didn't see you, bro.
Never. And I pride myself on that. Like, because remember, I've always stayed connected to that kid that dreamed about this. Always.
But what was it about you when you made it and you're making millions and all these different things kept you inside? Jamal, bro, you hitting game winners or walk-off game winners in Atlanta on ESPN.
I envisioned it.
That night there was a function, no doubt.
I'm sure.
NBA Friday. You see it on the screen.
The whole world's watching.
It's a Friday night, bro.
In Atlanta,
and you just hit the game
I'm
winner.
going to get my Chick-fil-A and go home. Like,
No, but he's real. I'm not.
No, he can tell you.
You ate Burger King?
Tell them. I told people. They don't believe
Jamal,
me.
I remember this like I try to tell people this.
Morning
this
games.
man ate Burger King
Yep.
every game day. In the morning.
In the morning. Every Sunday game we had was Burger King with the French toast sticks.
With the French toast sticks.
And the orange
They've
juice.
discontinued them shits because they found like chemicals in them. I don't even know if they got those anymore.
That's special power in them.
No, for real.
Look at my Sunday stats. I'm getting 25s, 30s off the bench. It was the Burger King.
Hey, Burger King don't sponsor this, and I don't know what else.
Yeah, hold that Burger King part back until
People
they
used to
sponsor.
be like, yo, I remember I had a friend come to the game early. Sometimes I'd bring them to the game so they could experience the whole thing, which I hated doing. I'd always play bad. I stopped doing that. Because anytime you mess with your routine,
yeah, do you see? You know.
I get in my head. As soon as I miss one, I'm like, uh-oh.
You know.
What the fuck are they building out here?
Yeah, they're still building. This is phase 3. There's still 2 more phases. So we're building a theater. There you go. So you bring them to the game.
I'd bring them to the game, and I remember on a game day, we had shoot around, and I'm getting my little gourmet breakfast, the egg whites, the avocado, eating the
Everything
full NBA lifestyle, everything they're telling me. Mind you, I'm averaging this is my first year with y'all, so I'm averaging 6, 7 points a game. You over here eating French bread sticks, got the little croissant sausage sandwich.
The carton orange juice.
With a carton of orange juice.
With a straw, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this dude is averaging 17, 18 a game, 20 a game off the bench, bro. And that's why I looked at my friend, I said, none of that shit matters. I said, it helps the people that need help.
Right.
If you got a bad body or something like that. I go, it's all hoops, bro. It's all confidence.
It's hoops.
And you taught me that. I swear, bro, you were that's why I attributed, remember that eye game I had in Portland, my speech after the game, I was like, bro, I got to give credit to Jamal. Playing with you taught me that if you're going to go out, make sure your clip empty.
It's empty, and you got to go out your way.
You got to go out your way, bro.
I tell kids all the time, coaches are going to pull you out anyway.
They're going to pull you out the game anyway.
And the coaches are going to pull you out anyway, and the people watching are going to judge you thinking this is you.
Yep.
Be you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're going out anyway.
Yeah, you're going out anyways. Don't go out.
Don't try to be them.
And people hear this, I want players to know, when we say this, that doesn't mean you can't listen and evolve and develop, okay? You got to be coachable. That's how you make the league and last. But you can't ever forget who you are to a core. And what got you there is a core. And I remember playing with you, bro, seeing, you know what it was, dog? Seeing somebody come off the bench like you, ready every game, and just going out there. Jamal, you just don't see it often, man. Talk about how you were able to not only play in Atlanta, but the 6-man success, bro. It's one thing to have starter minutes.
Right.
The first 4 minutes of an NBA game is bullshit.
Right.
If you don't believe me, go watch it. Everybody's kind of trotting around, getting loose. You can steal a couple points the first minute or two in the game. You can get an easy layup, steal a little fast break layup. People are still easing into the game too. Check in the game at the 5-minute mark in the first quarter when now everyone's got a sweat going and you just come in rocking on offense. It's not an easy skill to develop. How are you able to stay ready and lock in from the bench standpoint?
For me, it was weird. So prepping to go into this season, we're playing in Seattle, the runs, I'm usually first on. I said, no, I want to wait. I want to be second and third. I want to see the action. So I was trying to train my mind that I wasn't going to be out there when it started, right? And even doing that helped to an extent, but when I really had to come off the bench the first game, you can look it up, I was 1 for 2. I had 3 points against the Pacers. And Coach Woodson called me in his office, and Joe Johnson
Shout out to Woody, man.
Yes, that's my guy. And he was like, we didn't bring you here for that. I get you come off the bench, but you're not lesser than. So I'm like, he's like, I want you to lead the league in scoring.
You said Joe Johnson had a part to play in that as well, right?
He did. Woody and then Joe. Joe don't even talk a lot, but he pulled me in yo, we need you to score. I'm like, all right, cool. So they've been a group in the playoffs. I'm like, all right, I got you.
And Joe doing that too. That's the guy.
Come on,
if he telling you to.
You know how it is. That's a whole different level of confidence. You got your coach and the best player.
Best player telling you go be you.
Go be you.
Yeah.
And they embraced it. So I went and was killing it. And for me, it became I told myself, instead of being lesser than, now the show don't start till I get in. So on the side, when I know I'm about to go into the 5-minute mark, at the 7-minute mark, I start stretching. I'm already getting my body into the game. I'm looking at how they're playing Joe. Okay, that guy's on drop coverage. That guy's trying to blitz. So let me stay away from him. Okay, that guy's over helping over there. So I'm taking a picture of the court and put myself in the game before the game. I'm actually in the game.
Explain when you work out, do you envision these type of things? Because you're not a prototypical workout guy.
No.
You were never a guy that would go to the gym and get with a workout guy and go work out for an hour and a half. So how are you able to master these skills of learning how to play with certain guys? You were more an envision, you would go to the gym and just play by yourself. You love pickup, we know that.
Yeah, I would play different people. And when I played different people, I could put them in the box. Oh, this guy's like Bruce Bowen. Okay, he's like Tony Allen. Okay. So when I saw these defenders, at this point, think about it. We've seen every single type of defender.
Yep.
Just defender that you can see, okay, he's more aggressive with his hands. Oh, he tried to get in your body. So I start placing in my mind, like the Matrix, if you could do it in slow motion, I start, okay, he goes in that box. He goes, okay, if I hesitate him the first one, he'll bite, I'll go this crossover on the second one. So I'm collecting data as it's going on, but I'm watching what he's going for. So I'm already giving myself points and getting myself going. And you know how it is in the NBA. You hit 2 shots in a row, they come back to you. So my goal was, all right, get 2 in a row. Get to 2 in a row. Get to 2 or 3 in a row, they got to come back to you. Now everybody else has to wait. They have to wait for that tie because now you're rolling. Yeah. Now it's the game within the game.
And then you create the myth, man, the myth, the legend. I mean, at this point, this is when the 6th man of the year.
Yes, it's when it tight.
Did you tap it? You bought into that.
I
mean,
bought into it.
Because you came here and there was no slowing down. From then on out, bro, you were that guy that would come off the bench and just torch. You created a position in the NBA like this, dog.
Which is crazy.
The Lou Wills and people behind you, Jordan Clarksons, these guys came behind you.
And this is what I will say, Austin, to your point. I think I helped make it cool.
You did, Jamal.
In our
100%.
If you ain't starting, you feel like
they call you a bench player.
You're a bench
coming
player.
off the bench.
Bro, every
bench players talking like starters. I hate it. You know the comments that everybody's always, yeah.
Your guy, we used to have the Jersey talks back then. We ain't gonna get into that. But that right there is a product of the hard work, and it's a product of like, wow, you can literally make something cool. Where now kids all over, like Tyler Johnson. He's played for the Heat.
Yep.
It's like, Mo, I was the best player in my state. I told him I want to start. I want to come off the bench like you. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, I'm the best player in the state. I'm telling my coach I want to come off the bench like this dude.
Damn.
So it's crazy to see the effect of where it went.
No, Jamal, I used to justify when someone would be like, yo, you starting? I'm like, nah, but I mean, that's, I'm coming off like Jamal. I used to like throw in your name because then people be like, oh,
it's cool.
Okay, he playing.
Cool.
He cool then. Because you were viewed as like the 6th starter.
Yeah.
And a guy that could start,
right.
But strategically they bringing you off the bench so you could help the second unit score. Like you drew that line, and by the way, you did it at a cost. Like we said, bro, like you weren't getting paid starter money.
Not at all.
And you were a guy that like over time reaped the benefits because you played 20 years, bro. But like you should have made like 2 or 3 times. Now obviously you get it in the media space after because you were killing it.
No, that's true. Look at that.
Yeah,
hey, Mortimer, we're back.
100%. But that's a sacrifice, bro. And you had to really buy in.
Yeah.
For someone who played in his 10th year and just made the playoffs, someone who you never won a championship, for someone who never did these things, that's what a winner is. You know what I'm saying, though?
I think
we get so lost up in the fucking ring talk, bro, and who won. You know, Giannis has talked about that. This is a guy who has won.
For sure.
About y'all viewing athletes as failures. Bro, you unselfishly could have easily fought to been selfishly you could have fought to been a starter for a long time, Jamal.
For a long time.
And you, at the sacrifice of money, fame, all these different things, bought into a role which only ended up bringing you that in the end.
And that stuff never made me. Like, money, fame, it was never about that for me. So for me, it was like, it's best for the team. I want to be part of a team. I know I'm a winner at heart. Like, I'm fine with that. And this opportunity to play in the NBA, man, I'll play anywhere. I'll drive y'all to the game to play in the game. Like, I get to play in front of the world. I get to show my stuff. I've always stayed attached to that kid and to that. So that's why, for me, it was all a blessing.
And you know what, Jamal? I like the fact that you, in doing something unselfish, it ended up bringing you success. It's like I try to tell players, start with this little bit of rope.
Yeah.
You'll get a little bit more. You'll end up where you wanted to be in the first place. Just don't approach it that way. Don't try to eat it. Rome wasn't built one day. Jalen Brunson came to the league, wasn't playing right away. Shaq Alexander wasn't playing for the Clippers a lot. He got traded. They built that over time. The problem is we go on Instagram, we see these stars, and they think everyone's going to be an Anthony Edwards. You're not going to be the number 1 pick, bro.
For sure.
You got to kind of build your stuff out. For you to take a step back, say, I'm going to come off the bench, and then end up becoming a legend out of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's deep.
Like you created, which might not have been other things, but in other ways, you created so much more success, a legacy, a 3-time 6th man of the year. You will be in the Hall of Fame one day, and you should be. We're going to advocate for that. I can promise you that. And this is something that you've been able to do because you did something for the sake of the team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not something that gets looked at enough, Maul.
And I lean on Outkast. Because honestly, I'm like, man, Dre 3000, the one person I want to meet. But I'm like, he's so
You've always been an Andre guy.
He can go
Still,
be
bro.
a solo superstar. But he's like, no, I'm part of a team. I'm good with my group. And I know I'm good knowing I'm nice enough. Like
you was never about that other stuff though, Mo.
Never. And my peers always respected me, so I never worried.
God, I hate looking at Clippers highlights. It reminds us of how good we were.
Bro, we're the best team that never won a championship.
Man, you think so? You think we had the best team that never won?
We could do a 30 for 30. If you go back and Let me stop this. If we don't even do the basketball part, if you just do the basketball minds, look at Doc T. Lewis coaching. Look where you're at in the media space. Look where I'm at. Look where Matt Barnes is at. Look where Chris Paul's at. Look at Blake Griffin. These are just
all
the
people
minds
on basketball.
Look
Yeah,
at Willie Green coach. Like, bro,
Willie Green coaching. Yeah.
Karan Butler's coaching. Look at all these people.
I came that last year. We had a championship.
J.J. Redick's coaching.
J.J.
Like, look at all
Redick,
these
yeah.
people,
My
bro.
God, yeah. Just thinking about the basketball minds a part of that team.
Ryan Hollins is doing TV.
Yeah.
Bro, look at all that.
No, this whole team is, and this is before I got there. This is the year before, but even our team,
that
we
whole
had
team,
Maul
bro.
and everybody. We had you and JJ and my dad, T.
Oh my gosh, bro.
The Rockets.
I think we're the best team in ever.
That killed it. That was the end of it right there.
That was it.
We never recovered from the 3-1. That destroyed our
JJ
team.
even talked. Then I'm like, yo, he's like, you ever been to a? He's like, you didn't play in college long enough. You ever been to a Final Four? I'm like, no. He's like, bro, we win this one game, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be something we've never seen.
Bro, we would have went to the conference finals versus the Warriors.
The Warriors, who Steph was hurt at the time.
Yeah, at the time, yeah, and we had
So
at
that's
that
a
time
game,
we were
hopefully,
competing.
right?
That was the team that we used to give the most hell to, and coming off a season where y'all had just beat them.
I tell my kids about that and opportunities, and they always use that as an example. Like, we got to cherish this time. I think we
That's
always
why
rely
people
on it.
disagree. Like when you hear Anthony Edwards say,
Yeah.
like, I'm good, not
Bro,
understanding,
it
like,
goes
yo,
so
I don't know if you saw
fast.
what just happened to Tatum, dog. Like, you don't know. After Boston won last year, we were asking how many they gonna win.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know
You don't
how this
know.
stuff works.
You don't know, bro, at all.
Yeah, look at that picture. I mean, look at this. See this frame.
Grant Hill, all those guys over there.
Now look at this cast of people. Grant Hill, coach,
One of the
broadcaster,
voices of the game, yeah, broadcaster,
big voice of the
coach,
game, Matt
right.
Barnes.
Yes.
And then we got Grant
The
Hill, who's
ultimate
like,
voice of the game, USA, like, we can't
He
say enough
Mr.
about
Ambassador
it. Yeah,
of
come
basketball.
on. Yes, basically.
Jesus. Yeah, now that you've said that,
It's
I'm
crazy.
peeping.
Right? Just the minds.
And then the continued success.
Come on, man.
My dad texts me too. He's like, tell him that just remember who he is. His best years were under. He likes to remind everybody that.
Hey, you know what? He's not wrong, though. Bro, I won 2 awards underneath him.
You did.
And then Lou wins one. Then
Yep.
Trez wins one.
Yeah,
I bet you in history.
he really did though. I forgot he
bet
did
you in
have
history-
Lou and Trez under
Bro,
him
I
too.
bet you in history, if you look it up, I bet you he's coached more six-mans than anybody in history. Think about that.
Oh man, I never even thought about that, Mo.
Think about that.
You
He's
know what's
coached
been?
more
He gets
six-mans than anybody-
so much shit nowadays, man. It's crazy how much my pops gets, bro. He the second all-time
know what?
winningest African American coach in the history of the
I
game,
take
bro.
great
People just
honor
don't.
That I played for, they had the top 15 coaches, I think, ever when they had the NBA 75. I played for 4 of them.
You did,
On their
bro.
list. Like, bro, it's easy to throw shit when we don't win at the end, right? Like, but come on, bro.
You've done something else too in your career that I want to commend before we even start to slide up out of here, man. It's one thing to have a career like yours, but to play 20 years, Jamal, you have to be more than a player. You have to be likable.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And you don't get to play at age 39 years old, bro, in the NBA.
No.
I got out at 32. They were treating me like a dinosaur. I used to walk around there and be like, oh, gee. I'm like, bro, I'm 31 years old, man.
You know the first person.
You even saying Mike having that championship year at 35, it makes me angry.
He averaged 29 and everything. All-star MVP, like everything. MVP, finals, MVP. But you're about to have a 20-year run in this.
Yeah.
You really are.
Well, God willing, man, I appreciate you.
No. It's already written. I see it. I told you. I see
How did you do that though? How did you approach it? Because you obviously had you went from starter, 6-man legend, to now you were on teams where you were playing sometimes, not playing. For guys who are trying to not only play in the NBA but last in the NBA, how do you approach the game and make it about we, not me, and being accessible to the team whenever they need, and being a vet presence and being a leader and all in? Buying in is not something that's easy. You know what I mean, for a player, because you're always caught up in the me. You know, you don't play 20 years, dog, without being likable, wanted, and trusted. How are these skills, like who helped you develop these?
Then I have to go back to my parents and my grandparents. I think, and like, honestly, I've always walked around with humility where I can learn from anybody, even a person that doesn't have a place to stay, right, and they're on the street. I'll learn from them. True story. This is a true story. And I'm only saying it because it's one of my brothers basically told this story. There was a guy, I was at, I think BMW, and I had a BMW years ago. This was 2004. And I saw him on the street, and I took him with me because my car was getting worked on. They gave me a loan. I took him with me to my house and everything. He was with me. He didn't know who I was. I took him shopping. I took him everywhere. He was with me literally. I picked him up at 10 in the morning. He was with me till 8 at night. And I learned from him that day. Like, so I can.
What made you do that?
Because I don't, me is like, I want to learn from, how did you get here? Because we're all, how did you get, I always, like, people judge people, but I always like to see how they got somewhere.
So you just saw him and it's just like.
Yeah, he seemed like a good guy. He was trying to get money from me. I said, come on, let's go in there. And then I liked him, and we just hung all day.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like, I can learn from anybody what to do, what not to do, how to move. I don't know it all, but I have a thirst to learn. And to answer your question, I always led with humility over my ego. I had a really good balance of being confident and being curious. Like, I was confident enough to know I belong, but I was curious enough to know I want more.
Jamal, you told me a quote once. I never forgot it. I don't even know, maybe you just always say these quotes. You told me you got to be cocky enough to know you're great, but humble enough that you can get a lot better. And you told me that one day in practice, and you're like, bro, you got to play with some swagger, young fella. You got to be you, Austin, da-da-da. We all watch you. I remember you used to tell me, like, this is in the beginning stages. You're like, you got to be confident, cocky enough to know that you belong here, that you're great. At the same time, humble enough to know that you can get a lot fucking better.
Yeah.
And I remember I've said that quote 100 million
That's
times
crazy.
since, bro. Yeah, no, I remember this
I don't
stuff,
remember
man.
saying that,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
it goes to what I'm saying.
It goes with what you just said, though, right now.
Absolutely.
And you playing, bro, you 39, Jamal. You had 50.
Off the bench against Luka.
Off the bench, you had 50. At age 39,
can I tell
bro.
you a secret? All I wanted was 27. Because at that stage, myself, Kobe, Dirk, and Kareem, I think were the only ones to get 20 points in 3 consecutive games. Remember, we played the Rockets before this?
Yep.
And we played, who we played before that?
Damn, Jamal.
I feel like it was the Spurs. No, it was Cavs. Cavs, Rockets, these guys. And GP and all these guys are right behind the bench because it's Dirk's last night.
Yep.
So they're all there, all the legends barking. I'm like, GP, watch. I had 25 going into the fourth quarter. So I got my number. I'm like, oh, I get to really just be free now.
Oh, now you're playing, yeah.
Then I had 26, and look at the score. It's 80-49. Watch the score when it gets to the fourth.
See, but Mo, you're one of the few guys that could go in the game and say, I'm going to score and score. Like, if I went in the game and was like, I got to have 25, I would have a terrible game.
It was crazy, bro. I couldn't miss. Usually when I can't miss in warm-ups, I miss everything in the game. I literally could not miss this day, and I literally made everything. Literally. And you're playing against the great Jalen Brunson. Look, right there.
Yeah,
and you're playing against Luka.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? And Dirk even shouted me out in his speech. Like, it's supposed to be my last game. Jamal tried to steal my show.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was Dirk's last game.
JB. Bet trick. Don't worry about it.
That's his move. that's his move right there.
Catch it.
Where he learned that from?
Feet are always
Is that
running.
Jimmer Fredette? It's the nuttiest basketball club I think I've ever seen put together.
Irk. Look at the score, though. Watch how it just chops. Watch how it keeps chopping down. Even that style of play is gone.
No, it's done.
That creativity is gone.
The random play where you're just getting.
Look at and the great Coach Carlisle right now, right?
Oh, yeah, one of the best. Yeah.
But I'm saying all these figures we see now as being like, think about it.
Oh, your bounce right off the step. That step right there.
Yep.
It's a lost start in the NBA. Coming off the pick and roll, having the rear view contest, but knowing it's just there to bother you, not block your shot.
So what you're saying right now is why you're going to be great in media, because you're giving the why. Most people see the end shot, you're giving why it happened and how it happened. That's why you're going to be great, because now it's too vacuum. Oh, that was an unbelievable shot. Yeah, but how did he get that shot? How did he get to it?
You were so good at Jamal at angles, bro. You would come off the pick so sharp that you knew the guy was going to be behind you because he couldn't possibly be beside you.
Yeah.
And you were so lean in your frame that
Go back right there, Austin. Even right there, going to what you said, the angles. I'm telling kids this now. They see a pick and roll, I back up. When I back up, it draws Brunson out further.
Out further.
So now I have the angle for him to step up.
You come down.
Right. I don't like the angle. They're trying to flip it. I have my guy flip it because they're trying to ice it.
So when you come down, you going to back up and take a step back to get the angle better.
I wanted to go that way, but they're trying to keep me on this side. Cool, I'll take that side.
And you like shooting going to your left anyway.
Perfect. Now I'm going to back up. You come up. As he gets him, I'm coming off right here, and you're still in that drop coverage. That's a 3. It's no way. As long as I set him up right there, it's a 3.
So you drag it out to get more space.
Yes.
Too many guards come down, and as soon as they get pressure, they turn right away. You go back to create. You still got to half court. Use it to your advantage.
Right.
You got space.
So now watch. Here he goes.
Come off quick. He's back right there. Yep.
And here's a little thing. Go back one more time. Little thing. When I shoot it, Brunson's touching me. That's why I shoot it right when he's touching me to try to get the foul.
Trying to get the foul.
And he pulled his hand off.
And I say that you were like the all-time in 4-point plays. You were able to seek contact.
Mm-hmm. Even right there, the little up fake right there. Now we're just teaching, y'all. We're just having fun. That little up fake right there, that little stutter step made Luka jump.
Yeah. Made Luka
jump. It messed up his timing.
Key of timing the defense. Yeah. Hey, you're like, let me go get this.
I knew where I was at. Trust me.
Cuban, you know at that point again, you're like, oh, I'm getting this 52.
Cuban looked at me and said, "You not tired yet?" I said, "Mm-mm." He said, "God bless you." Look at the score though. Remember, we was down almost 40.
You chopped it though.
I'm telling you.
For sure. You really did. Look.
Yeah.
And this is the last thing we got, man. This is just breakdown of just.
This is just filth.
I had to run this back, man. We had to run this back, bro. This is one of the greatest moves. Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you how one-of-one it is. This is the perfect ending. This is such a one-of-one. I tried it again this summer, and somebody busted me in my nose because he wasn't ready for the move. I did it, and I said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, you know it's crazy when you play against sorry basketball players. They don't go. They don't even go for the move.
He didn't go for the move
because they too bad to even move.
Hey.
If you ever try to hit a sorry motherfucker with a crossover, he gonna be sitting right there because he don't even know how to go.
Whoever you were, shout out for breaking my nose because that made me never do that move again. That's why it's a one-on-one. So we're gonna leave that there.
Bro, this slow-mo, man. This dude is just chopping it up, bro. I gotta ask you before you get out of here, who's a player comp when you look at today in the NBA?
I can't.
Because I say this name, it's tough because he doesn't have the success you have. He doesn't have.
No.
He's young, but I see how you started out your first year with Chicago.
For sure.
This guy's on a good team.
Who are you gonna say?
I'm saying Rob.
I say Rob.
The problem is he's not 6'5".
No, I say Rob for sure. There's definitely some Rob there. And the other person I'll say, young fella, was with Milwaukee. He's in. Where's he at now? Young fella. I love his game.
Bones?
No, he's really young. A.J. Johnson.
A.J. Johnson.
When I watched him in summer league, man,
wiry, quick.
He reminds me of me in summer league when I was with the Bulls.
Because I've been looking, man. I was searching. I was like, bro, there's really no 6'5". There's not shooting guards don't play like Jamal, man.
Yeah, they don't play like
Karis LeVert, but Karis don't have the bop you have.
Yeah.
He was a little bit more in the post and mid area. You were out by the 3, and then you would come in with the mid range.
You have to combine players for sure, but just the era is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the game style is different too and evolved.
Yeah, it's evolved, so it's different.
The ProAm, man, before I get out of here, the famous Jamal Crawford ProAm.
Yeah.
I got to complain it.
We've been wanting to see you for years.
Yeah, I got to come hoop in it. What's it like, bro, being like, and I'm going to ask 2 questions. First off, what's it like being, you like the godfather of basketball here, bro.
No.
I know there's guys older. I know you're going to say him. I know you're going to say Doug Christie.
Yes.
But, Jamal, when we talk about, like, Seattle basketball players, you are the guy, bro. It's called the Jamal Crossover Pro.
No.
You know what I'm saying? This court's Jamal Crawford court.
It's everything to me.
Who's your top 5?
Oh, no. Don't do that.
Yes, sir. Who's your top 5?
Doug. I always say Doug.
I'm putting you
Jason
in there.
Terry. No, I don't put myself.
Oh, so you're not putting yourself in the
No, never.
We'll take you out because you're the guy.
No.
So who's your 5
Doug,
under you?
Jason Terry, Isaiah, Nate.
Oh, you got Nate in there.
I'm so random with this right here, but.
Ooh. Even over like you put Nate over DeJounte Murray.
That's my other list. There, I have another 5 list. It's
the younger crew. Because like Paulo Banchero going to end up being a superstar.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got Paulo, DeJounte, Zach LaVine.
That's the younger boys.
I got them. They got their own box.
Young guns
they're about
list.
to push everybody out. They're about to run.
What's your goals, man? You're crushing it right now in the media space. You are one of the few guys that we see, and I want to highlight this before we wrap this up, man. You are one of the few guys who are able to transition after basketball. You know how it is. Guys struggle, bro. That light, that pressure, that adrenaline. We rely on it. We live through it. You know, basketball becomes not only something we do, it becomes our identity, bro.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this story, and I'll make it quick. Chopping it up with Greg Oden, and he said, I go to bars, and I go to lounges. I'll go to places with crowded people so someone can notice me.
Wow.
He said, because that way I could feel important still.
You feel, yeah.
And I remember I heard that, and not only did it break my heart, but I remember thinking like, God damn, I don't ever want to be, you know what I'm saying? And he was saying this from a place because he's already changed and doing better in life. But he's like, this is a phase that I went through after I got done playing my knees. So I was supposed to be this guy, right? And then it all was taken away. I'm done playing basketball. Who am I anymore? Wow. You have made that transition, bro. And you're obviously now on the main stage, NBC next year. You're involved in all these different podcasts. You kindly are coming on this one, our show.
Which is unbelievable.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah, no, for real. We got part 2, bro. 20 years, we can break this down in part 2. What's your goals, man? And like, what are you looking forward to doing? I know a lot of what's important to you is revolved around your son, and your kids.
So I think I got the perfect balance right now, honestly. Coaching my son and his squad, and being one of the voices of the game, because I love, like, bro, Wemby reaching out to
I saw that.
Me. Like,
yeah,
bro.
You
other
looked
people.
At like
I ain't gonna say
that,
names yet, but there's other people's. I think I'm all things basketball.
You worked at Victor.
I'm all things basketball, bro. And I'm gonna work with Vic with the same enthusiasm as I would a kid right now walks in the gym.
Yes, you would.
So it's like I'm all things basketball. I owe the game everything. So I want to be real with you, besides like personally trying to be a better person all the time, I want to be better in this space than I was as a player. And I think I have a chance to. And the reason why is because I'm in a sweet spot of, I played against Jordan in there, and I played against Luka. So I played in so many different generations, and Mr. Bill Russell, rest in peace, was a great mentor for me, right? But here I am talking to Ant on a random day, or J.T. or whoever it is. Like, so
that range is crazy.
Or Vic, right? And I'm breaking down film for whoever. I'm like, so I'm all things basketball, bro, and I owe the game that. So it's my duty to continue to pass it to the next generation.
Young killer.
When you text me about him, what was it, a week or two ago?
I love the way, bro. I watched
the game wasn't even started. He's like, bro, look at his walk.
I like the way he walks into the. Bro, I'm not even looking at the highlights. I don't care about all that. I do, but I want to see the other stuff. I like the way a kid walks around.
Yeah, you hit me about the walk.
I like the way he walked onto the court. He just walked in with a level, just like, you know what I'm saying?
And where we at? Camera 2? I got some young killers up there. Can you just put the camera on them up there?
We got some dogs in there, huh?
Yep, that's Dre. Yep. Look at them.
There's something in the water up here, man, because they got
Rico. Yeah, look at those young killers. That's Nate Robinson's son in the middle. That's Nate Robinson's son in the middle.
We got Nate's son up here in the building too,
yeah, with the hand right there.
What's up, fellas?
Chilling.
Oh, so we got the next jet.
Yeah, those are champions too. They just won state championships. So I got a chance to coach them.
State champions? Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, how many times y'all watch this mixtape? Keep it real. See, I'm telling you.
That's love, man. That's love. That's crazy. We gonna chop it over after this. If they're still here.
Nah, when you text me about the walk, though, I was cracking up.
I look at that.
Yeah,
I know. That's the one thing. I coached against Cooper Flagg in this little NBA Top 100 camp a couple years ago. Everyone's like, "How was he? How was his game?" I was like, "You gonna see all that." I like the way the motherfucker walk around.
You walk around
like
he got presence.
Like I'm this man. Y'all hear this? My shit.
He got presence,
and he backs it up.
Oh, so he got your confidence.
No, I see it, bro. I like the way he moves, Mo.
Bro, he walks up to Kobe. He's 5. You know how it is. Lakers coming in, we're going out, or whatever.
It's a crazy story already.
He's 5 years old. He's like, Dad, can I go say something to Kobe? I'm like, yeah, I'm still a fan. That's Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He walks up to Kobe like, can you come to my house so I can play you one-on-one? And Kobe's like, what? And Kobe said, you gonna try to cross me over like your dad? He's like, yeah. Kobe said, I'll just post you up. He said, you wouldn't beat me, but don't ever lose that attitude. And he's so gangster. He said, I'm a fan. I'm totally dad now. JJ, you want a picture with Kobe? Jay's like,
oh my God, no
Kobe
way.
Scoops him up. So you taking a picture with me, and I took the picture, and that's the story.
Wait.
Yeah.
You asked if your son wanted to take a picture with Kobe Bryant.
And I'm about to, yes.
And he said, nah, I'm good.
I'm good. And he asked me to take him over to Kobe. Wait till I show you.
But he just wanted to chop it up with him,
He just wanted to tell you to come play one-on-one.
Pick.
That's it. I don't even want a picture.
Oh, man, God rest his soul. Kobe's great.
Oh, he
scooped him up and took the pic, huh?
Yes. He scooped him up and took the picture.
And he also came and watched you play at the ProAm. Came out and everything, bro. Like, you don't understand, Mo. Like that.
Hamilton just told me this.
To have a ProAm and have these dudes show up.
He said, Maul.
Another great Rip.
Kobe really liked you. He said he don't mess with nobody.
That's what I'm
he's
saying,
not
bro.
popping
Like,
up like that, bro.
Kobe don't do that.
Kobe's not doing that.
That's not his personality.
He's like, Kobe's
even when
not
I
doing
would
that.
chop it up with him and talk to him, it was like little tidbits, like what's up,
Nah,
da-da-da-da-da.
he was like, Kobe's not
He was
doing
always
that.
in his own lane. Remember, he lived. People don't really understand that. God rest his soul.
Yes.
That
Yes.
helicopter accident happened because he
Yes.
didn't live in L.A.
Right.
This motherfucker was out the way. He lived in Newport. He didn't mess with nobody. He pulled up to Seattle and came to your ProAm just to support
brought
you.
his family. Like, and I'm so nervous. I'm like, man, Kobe's in the car behind me. I'm like, what am I? So, yes, I'm supposed to perform, right? It's my Pro-Am. I'm playing it. But with Kobe
63,
there,
dog. You had 63 with Kobe.
it only happened because he was there, bro. That was my highest scoring game ever since we rebranded the Pro-Am. It only happened because he was there.
Because KB was in there.
And there's a spirit of like, I got to be special.
You got to go crazy.
I got to go crazy. 63 in a game winner. Other people was at that game. If you go back and watch the Tank is there. Gary Payton is there. There's a bunch of people are at that game, but it was Kobe.
No, if Kobe there, it don't even matter anymore, yeah. Wow,
he walks down the court like Michael Jackson, bro. My sister's like, man, look at him.
I
like,
remember he had the big glasses on with the security.
just shining, bro. I'm like,
doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Man, hey, bro, we got to say, first off, appreciate you coming on the show,
Man,
bro.
when you asked, I was like, bro, you serious? I was watching. And honestly, because now I'm in this space, like I'm watching your rise, bro. And I'm watching what you're saying. I'm watching what you're teaching. I'm watching like everything you're saying. I watched when you were on the court with the kid and you were showing him the handle. Like,
oh, on the outside court.
Bro, I'm watching. You studying me, I'm studying you. Like, I'm
Yeah.
watching what you're doing. And it's like, because I'm not a gatekeeper of the game and all that, but I'm just watching who's going to take the baton and keep, like, bringing this next generation. And the stuff you're saying, bro, we need it.
Jamal,
we all need it, bro.
That means a lot, man. Come
For
from
real,
you. You know,
we
you're
need
one of
it.
my guys. You're one of my
We need
OGs,
it,
bro. You're like
We
a big
need it,
brother
bro.
to me, so I
So
really
I'm
appreciate
honored
it, bro.
to be on here.
Thank
For
you,
real,
man.
for real.
So
For
this a wrap, bro. That's
That's
it
it.
for Eye for the Game, man.
Yes, sir.
Second episode, Jamal Crawford. It don't get any bigger than this. You a legend, my guy, and always will be. You a hooping legend, bro. We really appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
I got to come back.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. That was dope.
Great job, y'all.
This gonna come out
That
great,
was
bro.
fun.